Hello everyone, welcome to our first TNT Draft Center. I am here with three other magnificent guests. I have here Dylan, also known as Dozen. How you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic. I drafted very well. I feel great.
We'll talk about that later. And of course, I have Professor Dynamite, also known as Burner, our champion, and of course, our humble professor. How you doing, bud?
Professor Dynamite!
All right.
Alrighty. And of course, we have our wonderful owner, the person who is obsessed with Mega Clefable, as you can see, and someone who drafted badly. Faye, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Draft didn't go to plan, but that's okay. Honestly, the most upsetting thing that's happened to me today is that I did not get to finish my coffee, and I'm very tired because of that and the draft. So, but I'm doing all right.
To do a sponsor read. And of course, I am Rec, also known as Requiem, also known as Tristan, the loud host that they brought on for some reason, who I will peak your mic or peak your speakers. And now, what are we doing here today? So, of course, there's been no battles. We just started. What we're doing is this is the initial review of our initial thoughts on all of y'all's drafts, okay? So together we have all made personal tier lists, and then we have averaged them out to create one giant mega tier list, condensing all of our thoughts, and we will go through it. We'll talk about the high points of the team, the low points, what we think the team can improve on, and what the team's already looking good at, and how well we think the team is doing. And we're going to do that in our magnificent section with our magnificent transition video.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn walls!
All right, so let's jump in right away to this combined tier list. All right, this is first time Burner and Faye have seen this. Let's take a look. Here we are. So
That was clean.
yeah, I know, right? Nice transition. Hey, we're professional over here. So what we're going to be doing for all the viewers is we're going to be talking about the first team. We're going to go have a small discussion about them, and then we're going to move on, and we're going to do this until we've reached all of you. Because you all need a little special bit of care, right? And we all want to tear you a new one. Specially tear you a new one. So let's start off today. A newcomer, by the way. We have the San Diego Sandstorms at the bottom spot. So, you know what? Well, let's kick it off. Burner, Professor Dynamite, how you feel about this team?
All right, so kicking off with the Sandstorms, I believe that, well, first of all, Sandstorms is Luke? No,
XC runner.
XC runner.
XC runner. Excuse me, I apologize. Runner. There we go. All right, so first thing I noticed with this team is it has very good redirect options. You have Sinistra, Farigiraf, I assume, still gets ally switch.
Yes,
so
yeah.
I think they have two very good methods of redirect, which will definitely go a long way with their Dragonite and their Mega Gyarados. And the opportunities to set up with like Torch Song, Skeledirge, or if you want Crabominable to get some hit licks in if Trick Room doesn't get up. Speaking of Crabominable, it does have a very strong Trick Room mode. The main thing I see with this team is it may lack consistent damage, and I think the Megas will conflict because from what it looks like, Mega Gyarados is your main hitter. We talked about Mega Glamora a little bit, where it always seems like it doesn't do just enough damage, and like even with Earth Power, it's still strong, but you got to choose between Gyarados and Glamora. Probably more than that, you're going to choose Mega Glamora just based off of Gyarados' utility. And then the rest of the rosters, they got solid bulk, but I don't see Mega Manectric coming off, and the speed tiers of this team is like it's more Trick Room dependent than it is not. So there are some concerns with it. The only Tailwind mode they have is Dragonite, which means Dragonite has to have some utility, which it could do, but it also looks like it has to be one of their main offensive hitters as well. So I'm not completely down on this team. I definitely had it higher than the combined tier list, but I think it does have a lot of things they need to shore up on.
Right. So I'm someone, we'll just go left to right. I'm someone who I did have major issues with this team. I think this was the worst draft. I think it's purely because, of course, it's those first two picks. I think that's fantastic. Again, Sinistra, Farigiraf by themselves are amazing. especially if you put it next to a strong and just good attacker, right, or a strong offensive core. It's fantastic. Obviously, Sinistra helps with survivability, and I'm not even gonna lie, Sinistra and Dragonite have some really good synergy as well. Again, there's a lack of offenses here, and we've seen this format. Those offensive threats are really, really important, and a lot of actually the support mons have kind of taken the back seat, with mons like Garchomp and Sneasler taking the forefront. Sinistra and Farigiraf are good, but if they're not alongside a mon like King Gambit, I just don't think they're going to be able to perform. And yeah, same thing. The Megas are very much lacking too. I think Mega Gyarados has its uses. Of course, having Intim with Gyarados into Mega Gyarados is really, really good. But I just don't think that should be your main Mega threat alongside Mega Glamora. And of course, the speed tiers are kind of mid. They are sometimes a little too slow for Trick Room, or a little too fast for Trick Room, but it's too slow for Tailwind too. So again, it's that weird, awkward middle speed tier, which they lean more towards Trick Room. I just don't see a lot of offensive presence on this team, and I'm going to be worried about other teams just kind of blowing them over. But Dylan, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I was also very low on this team. I just think that for having your first two picks be Sinistra and Farigiraf, you want to design your team around a Trick Room sweeper, and I don't think Crabominable himself is very good at not Mega. I don't think it's very good. I think Hatterene's good, but your Trick Room setter is also a Psychic type, one of the two that you picked in the first 2 rounds. And then nothing else is below 60 on the team. You needed to swing big on a Mega. You needed to take a Trick Room Mega. You needed to have a great sweeper. And I just don't see it. I feel like this team just does not have what it needs to succeed. It's going to have to make trades. You're going to have to go find some power level, because all of your strength is in the Megas. It's in Glamora, it's in Gyarados, and I don't think that's going to be reliable week to week.
No. All right, let's end it up. Faye, how we feeling?
Well, I think I'm kind of on the same page as everyone else. I think we all just really do not like the Sinistra Farigiraf combo without the backup core to support it. I will speak from experience as someone who has played a lot of hard Trick Room, both in the format and in draft. Not to boost my own ego, but I famously won Season 8. And part of the reason for that was because Stack Attacka was such a strong Trick Room setter, and my backup Trick Room setter, Kofagrigus, had his own merit as a support. And I think the thing...
Walking Wake.
And also...
I'm
talking about the Trick Room core specifically. Part of that was because Stack is just so strong offensively, and while Sinistra and Farig are both decent offensively, it's really hard for either of them to just immediately be shitting out damage like that, because they just don't have the stats or the moves for that, really. And especially because they're both special attackers, it's kind of a rough mix. And I agree with what Dylan said. XC Runner really needed to swing big. I don't know why base Crabominable is here when he could have grabbed Mega Crabominable in round 3, and this draft would have been leagues better with that alone.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with it. Listen, prove us wrong. I'm all about that. Prove us wrong. But yeah,
it's week 0. You can make plenty of changes.
That's true. You also can hit the negotiation floor. Hey, do whatever you need to do. But yeah, I think we're pretty low on this draft so far. But hey, you know what? Newcomer, they're learning the tools of the trade, obviously. We're not expecting perfection. But all right, let's hop into...
On the bright side, high on the logo tier list.
True. There you go.
Good logo, courtesy of Professor Dynamite himself, actually.
Yeah, of course he likes it, because he made it.
Yeah.
Dude, what an egotistical ass. All right, anyway, let's jump into the second team, which we have another newcomer. Oh, we are just tearing these guys.
Another one of Professor Dynamite's logos.
I was there for this one creation. We got new. All right.
New A.
Sorry.
Like going from Persona.
Let's reverse it though. Hey, Faye, how are you feeling about the Psyspammers?
So I personally had this ranked as the worst draft in the league. There is, on paper at least, some good stuff about this draft, but I think it ultimately really ends up falling apart. I think this almost has a very similar issue to XC Runner. I think picking Talonflame and Meowstic in the first 2 rounds is maybe one of the worst decisions I've ever seen, unfortunately. I really understand the need for a strong prankster Pokemon, and a strong fake out Pokemon. But I think having those two supports up there like that is just a big mistake. And quite frankly, I just really do not like how this team is structured. Starmie is strong, but I don't know if this team really has the backbone to support it. There's actually nothing wrong with Scovillain here, aside from the fact that it overlaps with Talonflame. I love Mega Scovillain, I think it's great. But the rest of the draft is just really ugly. And on top of that, outside of Starmie, you'll notice this team is really lacking on the physical attacker department. Your second best physical attacker being Heracross is not a good sign. And I mean, there's a lot of other, like, quite frankly, terrible things about this draft, unfortunately. I think picking Garganacl that early was a huge mistake, especially because it's been nerfed. And already wasn't something that I would really want to pick in round 10, even if in, like, a lower power format already. And picking it that early, I just feel like is a huge mistake. Luxray is, like, so... I'm just gonna be real. I'm trying to, use professional terminology and whatnot. Luxray is a troll. I don't care.
Hold
I'm
up.
sorry.
Well, no Luxray hate here, dude. We love Luxray.
I
in a
like
different
Luxray's design, but it is not a good Pokemon. Never has been. And Kanto Tauros without Life Orb in the game is beyond a joke. This
No.
team just is extremely dysfunctional, and I cannot really see it working whatsoever. If it's going to succeed at all, Starmie, Kamo, and Sylveon are going to have to carry extremely hard, because I feel like those are the only three things on the team, offensively speaking, that are actually scary.
Yeah,
And
I
Scovillain,
can get off of that. Like, I remember at the end of the draft, me and Dylan were begging for a Mega Gallade pick, which eventually found a team, but it was like over Kanto Tauros was a
Mega
decision.
Gallade over Mega Alakazam would have added a lot to this team.
That is true. That is true as well. Yeah, there's a lot.
All right. So, are you not done, Fact? Sorry.
That's all right.
Interrupt people. Who gives a shit? We know we're chaotic.
No, I'm gonna be cordial for now until
Don't be cordial. No cordial.
I was gonna say I have one last thing to say. Why does this team have 3 fighting types? I'm done.
On this team, I think Mega Starmie and Talonflame's a really good core. I think they are great together. I think there's a lot to like about this team in terms of offenses, and I think it can win games. Probably by cheesing them out because of Starmie's just raw power, and also you have a bit of an expanding force thing going on. I mean, it is the Psyspammers. I also put this team dead last, though, because I think it threw away about 6 picks in a row. And I don't see any of those Pokemon making a meaningful impact except maybe Mega Alakazam to cheese a week. That a team really doesn't prep for psychic moves. I think that's really rough. I also think not having a ghost, a dark type, or a poison type, or a ground type isn't really preferable. I think there's good pieces. I also agree that picking Meowstic too. No, not with a Talonflame. You just can't do it. You gotta wait on it. And it being your only fake out means you lose half of the support that it brings. So I had this team dead last.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be quick with it because, again, I think most of the points have already been touched on. I think there's a lot of... I think picking Talonflame first is really good because you get to base off your next pick about what's available, because Talon works with a lot of different mons, but not with another support. Not with Meowstic. I just think that Meowstic pick, especially, not even the Talonflame pick, the Meowstic pick was the worst part of that. But what I will say, though, is where was this team? Yeah, I like Mega Starmie. Again, same thing. I like Mega Starmie. I think you could do some cool stuff with Mega Scovillain and Kamo. There's a lot of possibilities. But I'll be honest, I don't like this team that much either. I had it above the San Diego Sandstorms, but I'm still not expecting a whole lot. Hey, but prove me wrong. Absolutely. All right. There you go. Burner, go for it.
All right. I'll go. I think I'm gonna go on the opposite end of this because on mine I had them fairly high. I agree with Dozen in terms of they are missing certain Pokemon types. I'm actually on the opposite end. I don't think they can always bring Talon and Meowstic, definitely not in the same match. I mean, in the same game. But I do think that provides two different opportunities for them to, well, if they want to do a fast mode or how they want to it can be diverse in terms of how Meowstic, or it's a lot on Meowstic, but it can be diverse in how they use Mega Starmie. On Phase Point, where they said they don't have that many physical attackers, I'll throw some stats at you. Mega Skull Villain 130 plus on both physical and special. Como 110 on physical. Heracross 125 on physical. Lucario 110 on physical. Tauros 110 on physical. They have physical attackers. The typings might be where, and even Luxray is like 110.
Four of
Yeah.
those use all
So
five.
they have physical attackers. That's not more so the issue. I think their issue is going to be they don't have a lot of burst damage outside of their psychic types, Mega Starmie, Alakazam, because the rest of their roster is somewhat slow. I do think they have a lot of tricks they can play, like for example, Round Alakazam and the Sylveon that could be a quick burst. The back end of their roster is fairly weak. And overall, the team is pretty frail. I mean, Mega Skull Villain can kind of help them with physical attackers with the burns, but that's still not helping them that much. I think their defensive capabilities are what's going to be their downfall if they have one. But I do like how they're easily able to get priority with Talon, and that having two of the best supporters can be a bad thing, but I think it's a good problem to have. You just got to figure out how to work your team around it. There's still things this team can do to improve itself. Example, having 3 fighting types probably isn't the most optimal thing, but they do have pieces, and I have high hopes for this team. I think that there can be some things. I think Mega Starmie is going to be a lot better. We're all high on it. I think it's going to be a lot more of a problem than we think, and especially when you pair it with like Heracross, like you can scarf Heracross and he can still do some damage. So I don't think damage is a problem with this thing. I think it's how frail the team actually is.
I think that is the main issue too, because I've used Mega Starmie. I love Mega Starmie. That mon cannot take a hit for anything. And
Well, I mean, they do have 2 Intimidates. To be entirely fair, they have 2 Intimidates and Mega Scope Villain to mitigate damage. But that also means you're not using your Mega on Starmie. And Burner, you brought up Mega Scope Villain's physical attack, but I think the problem with that is it wants to be a special attacker most weeks.
I'm just saying, if you needed a physical attacker, it's there. Like this team's not lacking on physical attackers.
I understand what you mean with the raw stats, but I want to interject about that because, like, again, Skull Villain's not really going to be using its physical attack. Komodo's physical attack is decent, but it doesn't have very many strong physical moves, and it needs to set up. Heracross is decent burst damage, I'll give you that, but it is mostly single target, and its best burst options are Mega Horn, which can miss, and CC, which will leave it pretty much dead. And same issue with Lucario, and it's so frail, and I would not consider Luxray or Tauros real serious physical attackers that I would respect in any regard, truthfully. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. I agree with you on the burst damage. I was saying the team doesn't have much burst damage outside of Starmie.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
The other thing with your thing doesn't with the Intimidates, you're never bringing Luxray and Tauros in the same game. No
I don't think you're bringing either in a game, actually. But yeah,
that's the issue, though. That's
oh my god, you might be able to get away with Luxray. Tauros is like, does it learn Last Resort? Because that might be your only
maybe
quick attack Last Resort, maybe.
No, it doesn't get quick attack. Don't worry, it doesn't.
Okay. Well, there you go. Click one move, hope it lives, and do Last Resort.
Yeah, focus Ash Tauros. No, I mean I think
I'm a
that's
little
the
more
biggest
hopeful.
issue with this game, with this team. It's
I'm a little more hopeful, but they are weaker. I do think that I would, at second look after hearing like maybe I would have put them lower, but I still have pretty good hopes for this team.
By the way, Tauros does not learn Last Resort.
That's so. Oh my gosh. Just go back to Gen 1. Just go back to Gen 1.
Hyper Beam.
A completely different ballgame.
All right,
Yeah.
I think we did some good talking about that. So good stuff overall. Again, Mega Starmie, you better get your back ready. That's all I'm saying. But let's hop into the next game. We got the Moonlight Dracos. Hey, this is now a player we've played with before. So now we don't have to hold back, y'all. So feel free to tear Vieira a new one.
Why don't I start with my guy?
Yeah, we can start with Dylan. What's up? How are you?
I like you, Pierre. I really do. You're a cool guy. Before I tear your team
And to be fair, he was really drunk.
You're really drunk. Happy soon to be 18th birthday. Love you, buddy. Here's my problem. I don't know what your team's gonna do. That's the first issue. You have a sand mode, and then you took 25 ground weeks just to make sure you have enough, and then you have an Orthworm, but you have to bring the Excadrill. So now we're gonna bring 2 Steels each week, and we're gonna bring T-Tar each week. So we have 3 Mons week to fighting that have to come each week. And then Rotom-Mow has to come each week. So you have 4 mods that are already determined before you do anything on each week. You also only have 1 Pokemon at 100 speed, and it's Paldean Tauros.
That's not
good. And you also didn't pick a Flying, Ice, Normal, Poison, or Psychic type. And you also picked 3 Steels because of Empoleon. I just worry, my friend. I really do. I want you to fix this team up when you're sober. And good luck with that. I will pass it to whoever wants to go next.
I'll go next. We'll just continue. It's over. Again, Mega T-Tar, first pick. All right, fair enough, right? This was the first pick of the draft too, right? This was round 1, first pick.
No, it was the third pick.
Third pick.
Or second pick. Second pick.
All right, cool. So pretty early, right? What's with Mega Shandy, third pick? That's all I'm saying. Like, we need Infiltrator that bad? What substitute mon hurt you? That's my question. What do you need to infiltrate? Well, listen, hey, we talking the new Scientology thing. Pierre's already on that. French Scientologists, watch out. Mega Shandy is in your area. But overall, I mean, yeah, a lot of ground weeks, so Orthworm needs to come, and I mean, you already saw the abundance of fighting types for some reason. We were leaving good fighting types on the ground, so we're leaving them a buffet of steel types to punch their way through. I like Spiritomb Conkeldurr. I like that. I think that's a really interesting idea. So that's why I didn't have you. I think the team has legs. Now, if the legs are good enough to stand on by themselves, or if they need a crutch or a wheelchair, we don't know. But I feel like it needs a little bit of help, a couple trades here or there. And please, don't drunkly raid Scientology building. Please, we need you for week 1. Please, don't do that yet. All right. Hey, wait till season 11. Bernard, you take it.
You guys with it. I'm laughing at y'all. I'm trying to get my composure. So I didn't have this team that low. It wasn't super high, but it wasn't super low. I do agree. I do notice that they are missing many types of Pokemon, but one thing that I was drawn to is their matchup into a lot of types. Like the types that they are good into. Like normal +9s, poison +8, psychic +5, rock +4, steel +4, electric +5, dragon +4. Like there's going to be matchups this team has that even though their roster is has a lot of gaping holes in certain departments, they're going to be a nightmare for some teams. And I think Sand right now is really strong in his format. Mega T-Tar can definitely do some things. I agree with the Mega Shandy pick. I think we all went, what in the world is going on with this pick? You could have probably waited longer or picked another mon that definitely could have.
Chandelure is still a free agent, by the way, normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they panic picked Chandelure because of they knew the fighting weakness was coming or something like that to that.
Zardex got taken. Pierre wanted Zardex.
Okay, so that was part of it.
Whoops.
They tried to shore up their ground weakness for sure with Orthworm. I think they were like I said, I didn't realize that Pierre was drunk, but
I didn't either. This is new information to me too.
I think this team is going to be a very high-low team. And the notes I had were, I think Sand is really good in this format. It's got, like I said, who they're good against, they're good against. There's only one mode to play with this team. You're Trick Room or you're done. Like if you don't get Trick Room up, you're always going to be outsped. Teams don't even have to worry about tailwind too much on them.
That's not great when your Trick Room setters Spirit Tomb.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's very, and the team itself outside Mega Chandelure just doesn't fit here. Do have some good things. Empoleon competitive with all the intimidates in the league is definitely going to cause some scares. I I think one thing that's very highly underestimated with mons like Kazooie and Samurai or Cleavor is getting rocks up or spikes up, because there will be a lot of switching with lower power format, I believe, and that little chip damage could go a long way. Other than that, I think the back end of the roster is a little be desired. If they get Trick Room up, I think Conquador and Mega Ampharos can do some work. But the fan core is going to be carrying a lot, and that's going to be kind of tough to deal with in draft. I think when they win, they're going to win big, and when they lose, they're going to lose big.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it for this team.
And before you go on, a disclaimer. Pierre's in France. We're a bunch of Americans. We can't do anything about it. France, fix your own problems. Anyway, hi, Faye.
Hi.
How to get that disclaimer out?
That's how I feel about this draft.
Those are good.
Like, okay, so here's the thing, right? There are, we just talked about San Diego and the Hisuian Psyspammers. These three comprise my bottom three.
Yeah.
I had San Diego as the highest, but even though I have Pierre's in between these two, I actually think there's the most to like about Pierre's, personally speaking, just because Sand is so strong in this format, and I really like Rotom Mow here a lot, and I like the idea behind the Trick Room core. That being said, holy fuck! Why are all three of these Megas ground weak? All three of them! How did you even do that? That's like impressive. A lot of this thing just doesn't really make sense. I don't know why Paldean Tauros is here. We really needed a better Trick Room setter than Spiritomb. No hate to Spiritomb. And like Dylan brought up, there's a lot of fucking types missing that really should have been here, and there is 800 ground weeks. I don't care that you have Orthworm and Rotom. The rest of your team is neutral or worse in the ground, and that is very bad. Especially considering that there are 2 Garchomps running around, there's a Crocodile running around, a Mamoswine, a Mega Excadrill you gotta deal with.
There's a Mega Camerupt in the wild.
A Mega Camerupt, a Mudsdale, like, there's so many grounds, and like, you're just gonna struggle so much even if you dominate the other members of the team, and especially because a lot of the members of this team can't really take out the ground types. Like, your best bet's gonna be Rotom or Empoleon, but all the opponent has to do is A, kill the Empoleon, not very hard because unfortunately it is slow and has some pretty notable weaknesses, or B, bait out a Leaf Storm and then you're home free. Because then Rotom's -2 special attack.
And I would like to just quickly add to that, you can't bring Empoleon at all because you have to bring Orthworm and Excadrill every week.
Yeah.
That's also true. I don't know when Empoleon's really going to come into play here. That being said, I think this team is the most salvageable. Not the most easily salvageable, but the most salvageable. Like, the idea here is good. It's just about trying to fix it, which will probably involve...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I mean, what I'm trying to say is Mega T-Tar can hard carry anything. It's just you got to fix everything else.
Yeah.
And once you figure that out, then Mega T-Tar can carry.
Hit the trade.
So I would trade Orthworm for something high value. Everyone wants a steal right now. I would say get rid of Orthworm, work on the ground weakness with free agents. That's what I would do.
Or, hear me out, pick up Skarmory.
I don't think that's really good.
4 Steel types, mono steel.
Yeah, Skarmory over Paldean Tauros. Let's let it ride.
It's not weak to ground.
That's true.
It's not. All right, but don't worry, Pierre, because you're not the person we're gonna rip into the most today. Because guys, I don't know if you saw who the next one was. Hi, Switch. Hi, Switch. Hi, Switch. Oh, so.
You know, can I start? Yeah,
you can start.
Sorry, I'm just really eager to rip into him after you know, Switch, the funny part is I actually don't even have your team that low personally.
I have
your team your team like dead in the middle.
I also have your team down in the middle.
So I'm gonna get into the good stuff first because I want to shit talk you and then let someone else shit talk you.
Oh, God damn, bro.
The good stuff. You have a Basket Legion. That's great. I mean, come on, man. Right? Basket Legion's broken. I really like the top end of this draft. I really do. I think it's very strong. It's very hard to go wrong with the picks that you have. I do think you swung pretty early for Mamoswine, but it is what it is. I think it'll probably end up being worthwhile. It's just really solid. Like, I mean, Basculegion is Basculegion. Volcarona is extremely strong redirect in this format. Mega Lucario is probably going to do his thing. Mamoswine's a great ground type, can't really complain. And you have a Mega Dragonite to abuse it next to with Tailwind. And Sableye is great. I mean, I really like the idea of Sableye and Volk just causing chaos and mayhem with screens and Quiver Dance and Quash and all that. And Gardevoir is a great pick. I start to worry a little bit about back end. I don't love some of these picks. I understand them. I don't love them. Snorlax here doesn't really make sense to me. I understand that there is a Slowbro, but it's not really fantastic. I actually do like Mega Victory Bell. I don't have anything bad to say about that. I know that we were straggling for Darks, but and Electrics, but more Pico switch? Really? Like, and worst of all, unfortunately, most of these drafts so far that we've talked about do have some like joke level mons, and unfortunately I do have to admit I do think Lycanroc Midnight is one of them. I think Lycanroc Midnight is horrible. This Pokemon really doesn't do or offer anything except it has an okay Rock Slide. It's kind of strong, I guess. And I guess it can't miss its Rock Slide either. That being said, it's 115 attack, it has no bulk, and it has an awful speed stat. And your Tailwind setter, while good, is not exactly going to...
Well, he has two, to be fair. He has Volcarona and...
Oh, I forgot Volk Tailwind. That's fair, I guess. But still, I just really don't like this one. I think it's kind of shit. And I think even though you didn't really want a rock type, this was not the one to pick.
I just need to real quick add this. I love how Dylan looks like he's ready to jump out of his seat to tear this kid apart. I'm saying Freddy Fazbear ass jump at Switch. But anyway,
Foxy
he's like he's standing up like
I actually do like the team switch. I think it's a solid core. You just need to fix some of those shitters back there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take my swing. I've been waiting. Waiting.
Let's keep it shorter. Let's not tear him a brand new one. We've already been tearing him a new one. Just slightly open that one.
I'll rip it off quick. No, I don't actually think this team's that bad. I'm gonna start there. Actually, I think there is a lot of good pieces, but it really does lack an identity. I think as soon as Whimsicott got taken, this team kind of went from having a really solid game plan to having Mega Victory Bell be your grass and poison type, and have to be your only grass, and you don't want to bring it because then you can't make a Dragonite or Lucario, so I don't actually think you're going to bring it. And then Morpeko came in after you already got a Dark type fake out. So that's not great by any means. Your Trick Room mode is completely fake, and you might as well not have Snorlax and Slowbro here because you're never going to run it.
Exactly.
There's no reason. Yeah. Like, it's just so fake. These mons just are not going to exist. I know you wanted a normal, but there were better picks on the board when Lax was there for your team specifically. The last thing I'll say that I actually had in my notes was 2 electrics don't make sense, but now the Slowbro doesn't make sense, so we're back to square one, even though Manectric is dumped. I think the team's okay. I think it's more than salvageable. And just back to the previous team we went over, which was the Moonlight Dracos. I think that team's salvageable as well. I think this team's salvageable. It's just going to take some work. You just got to figure out what you want the team to be.
Well, don't worry, Switch. I'm going to leave this quick. Even though you pissed me off earlier today and you're on thin ice, I'm going to be nice. Me, the bigger man right now. Yeah, I mean, I agree with most of the points said. This team, my big thing is this. You got to play it well. This team seems like something you need to outplay people with. And for a pure draft, I don't know how good that is. Because you want your draft to... You don't want to have to carry everything for your draft. You want your draft to at least alleviate some of your stress by being just that solid. And you don't want to have to be forced to make these hard reads, which I feel like this comp is going to have to make you do. And I know how you play and you don't like doing that. But I'm going to keep it more towards the draft. You have a lot of really good mons by themselves. I don't see a lot of synergy. And I think that's a big thing. I had you pretty middling too because, yeah, you have some really good mons. I love Mamoswine in this meta. Really good offensive threat. He's just a little bit weakly defensively. Basculegion's obviously great. Volcarona could be really good if set up, and Mega Lucario has some uses. And then, of course, Mega Dragonite. I think Mega Dragonite's great, even when it's not Mega. But, yeah, no, a lot of this team just doesn't synergize that well. You don't have that good of a Trick Room mode. Yeah, Mega Victory Bell, for some reason, is holding down two pretty important types. And, yeah, even the Morpeko pick was weird. Listen, at that point, if you're that desperate for a Dark type, dude, just get to...
Well, he had Sableye. I don't get why you would be desperate.
That too. But, yeah, why'd you need another Dark? But even if you were, go to the trade table. Morpeko ain't worth anything.
Go to Pangoro.
Yeah, honestly. All right, Burner, please don't kill him. Please, we need him to play games.
I'm gonna just start with I had this as the lowest team on my thing.
Oh my god!
And you could say that this is being harsh on Switch, but
it probably is.
The way it's because I've practiced with Switch, prep with Switch, that I can already see how this is going to turn out. And some of it is the player, but a lot of it is the mechanics of the team as it relates to that player. I'll start with the good. The team has very good offensive potential. Basket Legion hits like a fucking truck. Volcarona, you can set up and get some stuff. Mega Lucario obviously hits hard. Mamoswine has a great offensive typing between ice and ground. Mega Dragonite doesn't even have to Mega to cause some problems, but because it's Mega Dragonite, you could do something with it can be special, it can be physical. Scarf Gardevoir has always been a thing apparently in this format, MA. And you could probably do something funky where you can do no rain, Lycanroc, Midnight, no guard, Hurricanes with Mega Dragonite. So you've got a lot of offensive potential. The team's speed tiers aren't tremendously horrible, but that's the good. The bad are, I'll say, the things that need to improve. Your best Mon, Basket Legion, wants to be in rain more than not, especially on this team. You wanted to have rain. You don't have a rain setter. Sableye is your best rain setter. Volcarona can do it, but then you're taking away from Volcarona's role. Dragonite, Mega Dragonite wants to have rain so it can shoot off hurricanes along with his dragon moves. You don't have a rain mode, an easy rain mode. I think Sableye is a really good part of this team. I just think it's going to be it's your main supportive Mon outside of Volcarona. So it's going to be carrying a lot on his back. Outside of that, your team is going to struggle heavily against three of not the most common necessarily, but the most vital to have defenses against. Fairy, Ground, and Rock. Rock Slide is all over the place. Ground moves are all over the place. If you run into a powerful Fairy, you don't have much to resist against it. Your team is very, very frail all around. You barely have any Mons that have double defensive 90s at all. I think your best defensive Mon right now is Dragonite, Mega Dragonite. Snorlax is good, especially defensive. Slowbro is good, physically defensive, and Volcarona is good, especially defensive. But your team, outside of those, the average is probably 70, 75, maybe 80. So you've got a lot to deal with, especially if a team is faster than you, which a lot of teams will be. So there is a lot that you're going to have to figure out with this team. And we joke around saying rain is your go-to. This team is looking like your mega team, but worse that you did in that one season.
Yeah.
I really think you're going to have to boil down and figure out what it is you need to do with this team. You've got the offensive pieces, and the only reason it's even as bulky as it is now is because you traded for Slowbro. You're going to have to get rid of Morpeko and Lycanroc, and you're going to have to find a way to turn those into something that can make this team have an identity. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, right now, I do not have high hopes for you in this team. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to rip you apart like the others for fun. What? I'm saying you got a lot of work to do.
We were being nice.
You were being serious, but you guys are having some jolly old laughs with this one.
Well,
y'all are waiting.
Wait, we're being entertaining, Burner. You can be an old sad sack, all right? But we're adding some entertainment.
Look, I'm gonna get to do this to him all season, so that's why I'm trying to give him the help now.
We don't get
that's literally my running joke. So that's why I'm just being. If you guys were the serious ones, I'd have been the wild one. So I'm
you were trying to be mean. You sure gave him a scathing review.
Yeah. Yours was meaner.
None of it was personal. It was about the team.
No,
Yeah,
you're
and
right.
that's
No, that's not
fantastic.
mean. If it was mean, I would have said,
Listen.
Switch, you can't pilot this team. Give up already. That's mean.
Well,
Listen,
you didn't have to say it.
yeah, there you go.
Burner.
Burner, you
But
gotta
that's
share.
an example. I didn't say that.
You
I'm
gotta
saying
share.
I tried to give him advice. I tried to give him advice on what to do about the team. Look, I can be mean to Switch all season long. That's going to happen. But I'm being nice right now.
Well, this is our turn. All right, let us have it. Anyway,
I just said, I was saying, you guys were just, I wasn't trying to be mean. I'm saying, you guys were having a ball. If I could tell, Dozen was about to hop on his chair.
and y'all, we gotta hop on a plane because we're gonna go watch The Hobbit together in New Zealand with our first New Zealander. What's up, Matthias?
Okay,
Matthias
I'm
or the
actually going to
Cornforcers?
kick this off because I had them the highest on mine.
You had them the highest?
The highest?
Not number one. I'm saying out of us.
Oh,
four.
of these, I did too.
Oh.
I did too. I
I
did
was
too.
about to say.
No, I had them at number 7 actually because I didn't
Ooh.
think this team was all that bad. I actually like a lot of what's going on with this team. And I'll explain it because for one, you got a sand core, and I already ripped the other sand team to shreds, so this one I like more. No, but you have Megalopony, which I think is a fantastic Pokemon. I think Megalopony's great. I don't think you ever have to Mega this Excadrill. It's just going to be an Excadrill that's itemless probably in a lot of weeks, which is fine. Specifically, I also think the Trick Room mode is kind of fake because it's Hydrapple and Fortrace, which aren't going to be doing a whole lot for you. I want to see that Fortrace find a new home. But once that happens, I think a lot of the pieces make sense. I don't think Charizard's bad. I think it's one of the better fires you can get if you're not looking for one of the Ghost Fires. They picked up Gengar. I like the team. Meowstick's a good prankstermon. You can get stuff going with that. Palafin's a great water type. Greninja's like a backup water type that you could use some weeks that you need speed. I really don't see all that many issues with this team. It's just like a quality, good team. I don't have any gripes with this.
I'll hop in a little bit because I had this as a very average team, right? I didn't rank my average. This and Switches were in C for me. They had some strong points and some really weak points, right? So they kind of balanced out. I think there is something there. T-Tar, Sand Mode, we've established is really, really strong. I like Mimikyu. You don't really have a crazy good Trick Room Sweeper. Your best thing is Hydrapple. But, I mean, hey, it's something, right? I just, again, some of these, the Gengar helps, but some of these last round picks, I don't like for Uniclus. I like Palafin, but Palafin's really awkward to position, and this team isn't going to help it position. You need a team, if you're going to run it, that works around Palafin, and I just don't see any synergy here.
There's two fake outs. I mean, that I see a synergy.
I guess, but then you have obvious, the Palafin is switching out, the Palafin is flip turning. And again, that just, it puts you at a disadvantage. And then my big thing is Zard. Zard, I disagree. I think you could have gone better with Shandy, anything else. Zard does nothing here. You don't have any sun to make use of solar power, so you're gonna be running Blaze. It's a very, very frail mon. One rock thrown in its general direction, it's gonna fall over and die. It's just not that strong if you're not using it to just blow up teams, and I don't think it's going to be doing that. So it's going to be hogging Focus Sash most of the time. I just don't see a lot of use of it. Fortress is another thing. That thing got to go. I don't know what it's doing here. Yeah, it's a lot of, and I don't see the point of Greninja personally either. It's just there's some really good tools. Especially at the first half. The bottom half I have a very big issue with, right? I love T-Tar. I love Mega Lopunny. I love Mega Excadrill. I like Mimikyu. Everything below that I'm kind of like whatever on, right? Overall, it's an okay draft. I have no strong opinions on it, but I'm definitely not saying it's in the top half.
I want to speak on this a bit.
Go for it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was going to push it over to either you and Burner. If you got something to say, go for it.
Yeah, I want to speak on this a bit because I'm kind of in the middle of these two. I do think it's a pretty decent draft, and I do like a lot of the ideas behind it. I don't think it's probably as bad as Tristan is saying. Um, I want to interject specifically on Charizard because I actually really like Charizard here. I think the biggest thing going for it is that Charizard is actually kind of low-key decent support, mainly just because it has Will-O-Wisp and Helping Hand, and funny enough, Charizard gets Sandstorm. So if
And
you
Weather
ever,
Ball.
huh?
Weather Ball as well.
And it gets Weather Ball, so it can also join in on spamming rock moves, which is fun. Um, but I really like it for that reason, and also because it can sit next to Excadrill, and Excadrill can spam Earthquake to its heart's content. In general, though, I do agree. I really like Mega Lopunny here. The Trick Room Core is a little fake, but I honestly think if you just swap out Reuniclus for something else in there, or maybe even not swap out Reuniclus, swap out Fortress more so. That's my biggest problem with this team, though, is just like Greninja and Fortress really aren't doing anything for me. They don't really make much sense. Um, I really do not like their presence on this team. I feel like there definitely could be better things in both of those slots, but overall, I really like the foundation, and even though I had this lower than switches, honestly, taking a second look at it, I may put it just a tad above. I really like it.
Villain lovers, I swear. Burner, back me up here, bud.
I had this team pretty low in mine.
Yeah.
My reasoning, I guess. Well, I'll go through my points first. So they are a very strong attacking team. Like this team between Mega Lopunny, whether Mega Excadrill or regular Excadrill comes to play, Greninja hits hard, Gengar can hit hard. Even if you decide to bring Mega Meowstic instead of Lopunny, it can hit hard. This team has offensive presence. That's not the problem here, especially Palafin if you get it going. I don't know how much synergy the team has with Palafin or any of their physical attackers to be, or not physical attackers, they're attackers. Just based on the fact that, first off, this team has not a lot of bulk numbers wise outside of Reuniclus and maybe like Reuniclus Fortress. I mean, T-Tar's bulky, but it's fake bulky for T-Tar depending on what you're using against it. And Mimikyu gives you your free focus sash in terms of getting hit once. But that's more so there's a lot of mons on this team that don't want to keep taking the sand chip that you have from having sand because of how frail they are. Like those little bits of HP are vital. And if you want to have a sash on them, you can't bring sand. So I think that kind of goes against them. As Dozen said, I think it was Dozen said the TR mode is kind of eh. Reuniclus is great for a TR mon. I don't think the team can synergize around it. So it's not often you're going to bring it. So that kind of makes one of your best bulky mons off the face of the team. And the biggest problem I see with the team is it's fast, but if someone gets tailwind up, this team is outsped. Like for the most part, it's going to get outsped. So you'll have to heavily rely on your fake outs, which means you're bringing Lopunny and Meowstic every week to kind of circumvent that to a degree, or you're bringing the Trick Room in hopes of trying to circumvent that. So I think the team is okay. I don't think it's horrible. Like I said, I really like Sand right now. Part of it might be that I'm just not the biggest on like not having the ability to put something on Excadrill like Sash or something like that. And then T-Tar herself just, I don't know. Quad weeks have always been a lower for me, even though I like Sand right now. So I just think the team is very frail, and the main core of the team goes against the build of the team because a lot of mons on this team do not want to take any chip damage whatsoever. So that's more my consensus of why I have it more on the lower side for my part of it.
Yep, that's fair. So, all right, these next couple ones, because guys, for the worst drafts, you got the biggest reward because you got us talking for like 50 minutes. I'll just let you know we're going up there, right? So these next couple ones we're gonna keep very short, because most of them are just good, average. Because let's just hop in. Let's take a look. So all these are gonna be B tier. We're gonna start with Star, right? All the rest of these are just solid to good drafts. So I don't think a lot of us have too many glaring issues. If you do, quick talk it out. And we might have a small discussion about it, but we're not going on length about it. Listen, I love y'all, but I'm not sticking around y'all for another 2 hours, okay? I got enough out of Dylan. I got enough out of
We
Dylan.
spend all night together. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start this one because I was talking about it with
Okay.
Dozen earlier.
Absolutely. Go for it.
I like what Star did starting the draft. My main concern with Star's team is kind of how the team works around that, because the whole core of it is Mega Delph, or the start of it was Mega Delphox Torkoal. You spam Heat Wave and Sun type stuff. The problem is most of this team really wants to be in Trick Room. Like, you've got Pangoro 58, Azumarill 50, Bellybolt 45, Mega Drampa 36, Cofagrigus 30, Torkoal 20. So the question comes, and then your high end is Garchomp if you don't Mega is fast, Tauros if you don't Mega is fast, Pavilion if you don't Mega, or excuse me, you don't Mega the Tauros or the Pavilion, but like Delphox is fast. And I really think when you're prepping, it's going to come down to how often are you going to bring Delphox and the Trick Room core in the same game, not necessarily the same match. And I think that's splitting your two strongest assets apart, when a team should kind of be able to use both their strongest assets together. That's all I have about the team.
Right.
I had them on the lower side because of that, but the team itself and concept is good. I just see a big clash in those aspects of it.
I agree. It's a bunch of very clashing speed tiers, right? There's a lot of separately good mons, a lot of good ideas. It's just, I don't know if the synergy is there completely. I can say some of these are definitely comfort picks. I could tell the Vivillon is definitely a pure comfort pick. It's a good mon, but it's a comfort pick for Star, and I don't know if those comfort picks are gonna really have any place here. But the late Venu pick was really good, and again, I like the Drampa pick. It's just there's some iffy choices here, and I'm just interested to see how Star builds around these weird speed tiers and issues.
Yeah, so I feel decent on this draft. You guys hit most of the points that I had on it. The only thing that I'll say is this team has no way to hit flying types outside of Bellybolt and Garchomp Rock Slide.
They're also -4 in flying, by the way.
Yeah, that's more what I'm saying. It's rough because you're very weak to it and you don't have a way to hit it, and I really don't like that. The only other thing I'll say is that Star's fast mode is so telegraphed right now because it's Mega Delphox, Mega Garchomp, Kangaskhan, Vivillon probably every time if there's no Sun, and it's just going to be very telegraphed.
Right. Faye, you got any closing remarks for Star?
Yes, actually. So I had this a lot higher than everyone else, I'm pretty sure.
You had
Yes, I love this draft. I think it's very strong. I think the
Delphox
Trick
love
Room, I have used Mega Delphox a lot in format, and that's why I want to speak on this a bit. Burner mentioned like that it would be difficult to bring Mega Delphox along with the Trick Room core. I completely disagree. I could not disagree more. I think it's simple as putting Mega Delphox in the back to clean up. And that's that, especially because with those Trick Room games, you're going to be bringing Torkoal a lot, which means that Sun is going to be set up and ready to go for Mega Delphox in the back. I will admit that the fast mode is a bit telegraphed, and I did not realize how weak they were to flying. That being said, Delphox is just so incredibly strong that they may be able to power through it anyway. I really like Vivillon here, actually. I think it's great because the team really needs a Tailwind setter, and it makes a lot of sense. I love Delphox and Garchomp together. That's great. And I really think that the Drampa pick here is actually really smart, and that one's going to be very interesting to watch into other weather teams and in matchups where Del may look a little more dicey. And, I mean, it can help with flying a little bit, because, I mean, he gets Thunderbolt and all that garbage, all the nice, fun rain coverage if you ever have to face a rain team. I don't know. Me, personally, I really like this draft. I really like how it turned out. I mean, I also just enjoy Sunroom, so I'm looking at it from that lens as well. But I think it is very well put together, and I think if Star can solve the issue of flying types, then she will be all set.
All right, but let's talk about the only Faye themselves then. Faye is the next up because Faye sucks at drafting. Really bad.
True.
Okay, I say Faye, you go last to defend from the criticisms.
Yeah,
here.
That
sounds
is
good.
exactly what I'm
That sounds
thinking,
good.
yeah.
So I'll go first because I think I was kind of high on you, actually. Yeah, no, I was kind of high on you. I had you in my 8th.
You were the highest. You were the
I was
highest.
the highest. Okay. Yeah, no, I can say flat out. I like Mega Clefable. I like Megazard, and I really like Aegislash. It could be I'm biased because I'm just thinking about its effect on Sneasler, but Aegislash typing, it's so good, man. I really like it. Really good dual stab. I think Hydreigon. I think there were some better alternatives to Hydreigon, but overall, I think it's a fine pick. Zoroark, it kind of clashes another ghost type with Ag, but again, Zoroark can always be used, and there are ways to get around that. I like Quaquaval here. You've shown off Quaquaval. I believe in it quite a bit. I like Salazzle. I like Superior as a last pick too, one of the last picks. I really like this draft. I think you have really good synergy here. I think the one thing I'm sort of worried about is the speed, but I think you can play around that well enough. You have some fast enough mons. I think you can play around that. I like it a lot.
Bernard, would you like to go next?
Sure. As far as speed goes, I think it's a similar situation to the last one with I forgot who we were talking about, but if Tailwind goes up, Star, I think was it Star? Yeah, no, it was a team before Star. Where if Tailwind goes up, then I think that's going to be a little problematic for you. Just based off of like you have high speeds, but you don't necessarily have a Tailwinder that I see. I could be wrong.
Hydreigon.
Okay, so you do have a Tailwinder. Okay, but that thing's mostly for attack. So I mean, you have it. So I guess that's one. I had you pretty high on my list actually. So I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I like your first 5 in the draft, or even your first 4. Like I like the synergy between those 5 specifically. I think based off of the team, like at least the first 4. I think those 4 are coming more weeks than not. I do like Salazzle. I like the support the team has. I definitely like Slowking, especially where weather is the biggest problem with this format. You'll be able to get rid of it with Chilly Reception as long as you're not fighting the Ice Team. That has some nice synergy with Frostlass to a degree. One of the biggest things that you might run into with this team is it seems like you will have to take a turn to get going because Megazard wants to Dragon Dance sometimes. Megaclap can probably fire it up some stuff, but a Calm Mind might be a thing. Aegislash is on and off. Just minor things. Like I said, I like the team. I think there's things you can do to it, but don't have any major overarching problems with it. Clef can function outside of just being Mega, so you can have definitely some tricks up the sleeve. So I think it's a solid draft overall. No major issues with it.
I'll just let you know before you start, Dylan, we are at an hour, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Sorry, shouldn't have went so long.
It's fine. We'll figure.
I mean,
it out.
we'll
split it
probably
up in
be.
the timeline and editing.
I was gonna say you'll probably be cutting like 10 to 15 minutes of this footage anyway. So
You're gonna make me watch this footage and cut
No,
out
you don't have to
10
watch the whole
15
thing, but
minutes?
we've had some like right now. We're probably gonna cut this part.
Oh, of course, but I'm gonna still have to like look for this section.
I mean,
Yeah.
just skim, man.
Killing me.
Yeah. Anyways, let me get into Faye's draft now. So, I had Faye the second lowest. Faye had Faye the lowest, by the way. That's just a little fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, I did have myself pretty low.
So my issues with Faye's draft, there's good things here, but the other two have pretty much hit on the good things, so I'm not really going to mention them. No offense, Faye. But the team is too fast to me. I think a lot of this team wants to go quick, and without the priority Tailwind setter, I get a little worried about that. And I think there's a lot of roll overlap because you have 3 mons that are below 70. And it's Aegislash, Slowking, and Steelix. Aegislash and Steelix are both steel types. I don't love that. I don't think your Trick Room mode's like any good. I think you're never going to want to play into Trick Room unless it's a specific matchup, and that scares me. I think this was before you made changes. You had too many mega slots with the Glalie on the team. I do think Rotom Frost helps a lot. It's a fixable draft, but I also think you have roll overlap with Superior, Salazzle, and Zoroark, and Lycanroc too. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
It's time for me to talk about my own draft. I agree with you completely, actually. I have pretty much all the exact same feelings. That does worry me, and it was a lot more manageable when the plan was to have an Intimidate with Crocodile and to have Mega Delphox just be Mega Delphox. Now this is a little more dicey. I do think I'm going to make some changes around that. I would like a stronger Trick Room core. Steelix is just kind of here because there's hardly any other grounds, and it might just be the best one left. I will defend Hydreigon's presence on this team because as soon as I realized the direction that I was going and that I didn't want Crocodile anymore, I thought this was easily the best Dark type because I needed a really strong special attacker that demanded a response immediately on the field, like Delphox. And obviously, this isn't as strong as that, but it has its own unique stuff. And I think Tailwind is great utility, and it let me also replace. I was initially shooting for Noivern on this sort of composition. But I feel like this is a lot stronger for what I'm going for, and I know that it's also a dragon in addition to Zard, but they don't share any weaknesses outside of dragon itself. So I'm not too worried
Yeah.
about that. And I do think I want to like get some more slow mons and whatnot, but I like the basis of my team, and it's just going to take some fixing.
Yeah. All right. Hey, that was, you know what? Fair enough. All right. That was number 6. Okay, we're moving on to number 7. Don't
That's
say
number
it.
8. This is number 8, I think. It is. This is the 8th.
Oh, it was 8th? Never mind. My bad.
Yeah, it's the 8th team we've covered
Listen,
and the 9th team
I've
in the
been-
ranking.
I've been talking a lot. Wait, this is
And we're going to talk some more, Tristan, so let's
Okay.
talk about the Las Vegas for Alligator.
Yeah. You know what? I can start with this. Why not? Monica, I think I had you pretty high again. I really like Incineroar Mousehold. Unlike other, like both the San Diego Sandstorms and the Psyspammers, who picked 2 supportish mons first, or support mons first, I think Incineroar and Mousehold are both really good first picks. I think they both have offensive pressure while having that amazing support. I think Mega Gardevoir, still very, very interesting. Basculegion female, I was a little bit iffy on, but I think the rest of your overall draft is pretty solid. I think you have some good supports. Again, with Ensign, Mousehold, I think they're just going to be the glue of this team. So you have to be kind of worried about people purely looking to counter those 2 mons. But I think the rest of it can work pretty well. Again, those 2 are just so adaptable. And I think adaptability in draft is everything. So, hey, Incineroar Mousehold, they're broken. And I think if you have even an okay comp or okay backline, they can make whatever work. So.
Okay,
no
I'll
one
go
wants
next.
to finish?
No, I'll go right in on it. I had Monica's draft the lowest of the 4 of us. I had her, I believe, at 12th. This team has no power level aside from the Megas. It's so weak. And that's really a concern. There's a lot of great defensive pieces. And you have 2 great fast speed control options. And you got Mousehold. And then you're going to be using Mega Gardevoir, Glamora, and Bascaf for your entirety of your offense every week. And that's about all you have. And that really worries me. I think this draft is so easily fixable, but it's going to take trades and free agents, which Monica is not shy of doing. She will trade with everybody. You could probably go get a trade right now as this is being uploaded. You could go do it right now.
Stock market all day, every
but
day.
yeah, so that's a concern, and obviously some of this stuff's not going to stay. I know she wants a steel type. She'll probably replace Mega Sableye with steel type.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my general thoughts. I'm not big on this draft. Fair Burner, take it over.
With Monica's team, main thing I saw with for me was I think she does have a lot of super strong support Pokemon to support Mega Gardevoir. I think therein lies the problem. This team is relying heavily on Mega Gardevoir to pull its weight. You do have sparks of offense like Jolteon exists. Mr. Ron can have his moments. Noivern is on and off, but there's also support for you. But then you got Mega Sableye. You got Sableye. Mega Sableye is mostly going to be a Sableye, Mousehold, Ensign. It's basically what Dozen said. There's not much punch in this team outside of the support. I mean, the support pieces are there, and it's Protect the Queen. That's mostly what it is. Glamora is solid, but it lost a lot of its items that give it the burst damage that it needs from time to time, and its typing can be kind of countered pretty easy in this format to a degree. Basculegion F, there's a reason why it's not on the same tier as Basculegion M. That's where I can put it. Mega Chestnut might surprise us, but with the way this team's TR mode is, I can't really say it's that promising. And Ditto is Ditto. I think it's not a waste of a pick for sure. I think it could show us something, but I kind of agree with Dozen on most of it. Like I had her higher because of the potential of this team, and with all these supports, it's a solid enough team. I just worry about the offensive potential as it is right now.
All right, Faye, you want to end us off?
I actually had this team the highest. Did again. I think I had this 6th. I really like this team. I actually really like the idea of the Protect the President just because the pieces to protect the president are so strong. Like, having even just Incineroar and Mousehold is insanely good because Gardevoir is never going to have to worry about getting hit almost. And I mean, Jolteon adds a lot to that too. Honestly, I think Jolteon's one of the sleeper picks on this team because that speed control is going to be very vital. And same with Noivern. I don't love that they kind of overlap because they don't really overlap, but Jolteon's going to want to click EWAB a lot, and Noivern's going to want to press Tailwind a lot, so it's not great. But I love even just those first 3. And I love Mega Chestnut. I think it works great here as a secondary Mega. I think the top end is really strong, and the back end, even though it does leave a lot to be desired, the potential for this team is through the roof to me, just based off that first half alone. I think if she can fix up some of the issues she has with speed control overlap and maybe get a better trick room setter or something like that, then this team is looking a lot nicer, and it's going to be really good, and its full potential is going to shine.
Okay, well, hey guys, before we jump into the second half, because this was the 8th one. Before I counted, I
Yes.
triple counted. It was the 8th one.
Yes, it is. It was the 8th one.
It was. I can count. But you want to know why I can't count today? I'm feeling a little bit tired. I've been talking so much. I've been doing so much stuff today. And sometimes I just need a good energy boost. And that is why we are proud to talk to you about DUBBY. DUBBY. Hey, I know you all drink energy drinks, drink a little bit of caffeine. I do it. I'm doing it right now. And believe me, that stuff is expensive. It is also incredibly unhealthy. But with DUBBY, first and foremost, you get a bunch of deliveries in these small little canisters, right? With 30 servings. Dude, I'm going to let you know, one of those things a monster, $25 for 12 cans. This is 30. This is 30. All right, in this small little container. That's pretty nice. And they don't use artificial sweetener. Only the best, because they want to make sure that you're healthy inside and out. They want to make sure that money stays in your wallets and that you're happy, healthy, and awake. So please, check out DUBBY today with our affiliate link. And you'll get 10% off of your shipment. And hey, what's better than a little bit of money saved and a little bit of caffeine in your system? Am I right, y'all? Can I get a big dub for DUBBY?
Oh, for
DUBBY.
Thank you. Appreciate you. But enough talking about my newest addiction. Let's talk about the next team. Which one? We got a newcomer, Luke, right? Luke with the Vegas Valiants. Who wants to start us off with Luke?
Me, because this is my favorite.
I will start this
logo.
off. Or
Oh.
wait, no, my bad. My bad. Okay.
Go for it. Go for
No,
it.
no. Okay, well, let's take it from the top.
These two are not
All
that nice generally. I don't know what I put them on
Very
camera and they
evil.
become really nice. Anyway, there you
What
go.
you mean?
Very evil. Anyways, Faye, kick us off.
I will start this off because I definitely had this team lower than anyone else. I believe
Yes,
I had
you
it I had it the 4th worst.
13th. 13th was where you put it. Yep.
I think the pieces are good in theory, but there is a lot of overlap and there is a lot of bad decisions here. I think the most baffling thing to me, more than anything, is that there's a couple things actually. Number one, this team has Garchomp and Crocodile, which is just absurdly greedy. More than anything, it also just doesn't make sense. Number two, Surledge and Gorgegeist. I understand that they're very different roles. They're not the same Pokemon at all. That being said, I do not like having two ghosts that are that slow. I really don't. And I mean, number three, look, I understand that there is a lack of redirects in this draft, but picking Ariados in the 6th round is unfortunately one of the worst picks that I have ever seen. Again, I understand that you are really struggling for redirects in this draft league, but this team almost doesn't need it. Like, you've got an Aerodactyl, so you have a really great Tailwind mode already just because you have Garchomp and Mega Blastoise. You have Veil to support those mons, so you have the bulk. And I don't understand why you would need a redirect like that. It just feels unnecessary more than anything. You have all the support you could. You have Raichu too, so that's a great fake out, and it supports Mega Blastoise by keeping it safe from electric moves. And Aerodactyl. So it just really doesn't make sense to me. A lot of these pieces really clash, and I really don't like it. Like, I see the vision. The vision is bad, though. It's just there's a lot of unnecessary pieces. And there's a Watchog on this team. Who could forget that?
I'll jump in real quick. In defense of Luke, first and foremost, you're just mad that he stole Crocodile from you. Don't play this game. Don't play this game. Listen, I also
willingly sacrificed
No.
Crocodile for Hydreigon.
Silence, jealous. First and foremost, Garchomp is insane. Any team with Garchomp instantly gets a boost from me because, first and foremost, both those stabs are incredible right now. Dragon Ground is insane, and that is also on top of Garchomp's pretty good move pool as well. Mega Aerodactyl right next to it. Also, really, really good. Alolan Ninetales is Aurora Veil setter. Really, really good. And I'm sorry, Ariados is more than just a redirect. He's really good redirect, but he's more than just a redirect. He has support. He can poison, right? And in longer games, that is going to have an effect. But I think more importantly, even if you don't really need it, it's nice to have just to keep Garchomp on the field longer. Because the more rock slides you get off, the more reward you get. And hey, throw a Choice Scarf onto that Garchomp, press Rock Slide, follow me with Ariados, you're just going to win the game. And then I'll talk about you're talking about Sarilege Gourgeist, and that's great, right? Sure, I'll give you that. They're not the best mons, there's more type coverage than anything. I think, no other fire outside of Saru? No. But, come on, Mega Gallade? We picked up Mega Gallade in, what is that, round 12?
That's
I didn't say a word about
As
Mega
a free
Gallade,
agent?
to be fair.
No,
I think
it
Mega
doesn't.
Gallade is perfect here.
No, it doesn't.
that's
I think Mega Gallade is a fantastic mon that everyone
just fits perfect. So yeah,
Oh,
I literally
on the
just
team.
said
I
that
thought you
Mega
meant-
Gallade is perfectly fine.
I thought you meant in that slot. No. I'm saying he got a steal because he picked it up around 12. And that's really, well, as a free agent, technically. Which is really, really good for a round 12 mon. I just see a lot of synergy in this team. I see a lot of power in this team, too. And I see a lot of answers for other teams. And also, we're ignoring the Mega Blastoise, which I think you could see. I think Mega Blastoise will impress us.
I said Mega Blastoise is great, actually.
Well, yeah, and that's great. I'm just saying that's why I like this team so much. You just focused on that Crocodile, and you're mad because you don't got Crocodile. And you're like, oh, I hate this team now. Bad team. Oh, you shut up. All right, why don't you take it?
Burner, you go ahead.
Okay.
Burner, please give some real positives for this team.
Oh, I plan to. This team's top 4 for me.
Really?
Team's top 4.
Wow.
I will say one thing that I think this team is going to heavily rely on is Mega Aerodactyl or regular Aerodactyl, whichever one they decide to just keep it week to week, is going to have to carry a big load on this team, not only for some of his offensive presence to a degree, not completely, but it is the only form of speed control consistently for this team. So it's going to have to come every week because the team's not horrible with speed, but in a world where it's like, okay, if you got to deal with Trick Room, you better find a way to deal with it other than, I guess, Gourgeist learns it, maybe. I mean, I think Galate gets it too, but Aerodactyl seems to be your forefront, like it's your forefront for this team for the most part. It has good synergy with Garchomp. The Ninetales can definitely make things better for this bulky team with Aurora Veil because Scizor, Mega Blastoise, Garchomp behind an Aurora Veil are going to be scary. Weeks that you don't like Garchomp's matchup, you can replace it with Crocodile. So I don't think it's super greedy. I think it's a nice backup option, especially if you're going for a more defensive thing where you want Mega Blastoise to shine as opposed to a Garchomp or something to that effect. I would not sleep on Ariados. It's not the greatest mon, and I think it got drafted way too early. But it has String Shot, -2 to both mons on the opposite side of the field. You can set up Toxic Spikes. It has Struggle Bug. It has Lunge. It has a bunch of ways to disrupt the opponent. I don't think it's going to be something you do week to week. But this thing is also deceptively bulky in a meta where it's like a lot of fairies or Floettes running around, which you only have to deal with in the draft once, probably a season. But there's other fairies you could worry about where it can survive a hit and do what it needs to do. Like Raichu, I think the problem with this roster would be Sarilege, Gourgeist, Watchog, which you can find things to replace them and probably complement the team. But this team's core is very, very solid. And I think in the right situation, it'll have tons of time to set up if it needs to behind with Ninetales and or have an Aerodactyl push what it needs to, and it has a surprising amount of bulk with support to get things done. I don't even think Sarah is that bad necessarily. It just comes down to Mega Aerodactyl is going to have to not only pull its weight with support, it's going to have to pull its weight with damage as well. So hopefully those rock slides keep hitting.
Yeah, and hey,
Yeah,
I said that too, by the way, Faye. Don't act like that was a bad argument for the team. Anyway, go for it, Dylan.
So, anyways, I also had this team pretty high. I had it 6th. I really do like the team. I think Luke drafted really well. When looking at the total and the parts of the team, so much strength. I mean, you got Garchomp, you got Mega Arrow, you got Mega Blastoise, you got Scizor, you got Crook, you got Cerulege, Mega Gallade. So many of this team can hit you. You have Redirect. I think the most important Pokemon on this team is Raichu. You're going to need that Fake Out. You're going to need the Redirect for electric moves to help Blastoise and Arrow. I think it's going to come a lot more than you'd expect. And I'm not going to say that much because I play him week 1. So I'm not going to get into the rest of the holes of the team. But I do think it's a really strong team. And I don't want to lose to that Ariados up there. You never know when he could come down. But let me tell you, I think this team's very good.
Top tier logo, by the way. Top tier logo.
Oh,
That is
absolutely.
true.
All right, yeah, but overall, hey, good first showing. I think from one of the newcomers. I think is that the highest ranked newcomer?
No.
No. There's one more. There's one higher.
We'll get
talk
to
about
that
later.
one.
We'll talk about that one later. We'll talk about that one later.
Get the Elden Ring music ready, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But let's hop into one of our mainstays. Good old Boost. Good old Boost. We love Boost, right? This is Boost, right?
Faye, since he's your arch enemy, Faye, go get us.
I was gonna say, do we? Or I mean, we do. Just
I know.
Faye
I
loves
like
Boost.
Boost. I'll get right into it. I have Boost around the middle, but I do have him in my A tier, and I think his team is very strong. I really like Boost's team. I don't know that I really have that much to say about it. It's just a very strong foundation. I really like that it has 2 weathers. I think that's pretty unique. And I think that snow and sand, low key, are stronger than rain and sun right now. At least as modes. Not necessarily the mons themselves, but as modes as a whole. So I really like that. Frostlass and Glaceon are great. Lycanroc and Powder are great. And I love that he has Clef and Arcanine and Tinkaton here. I think that's fantastic support for Frostlass, and it's going to make it so easy for that thing to set up a nasty plot and just spam Blizzard to its heart's content. I really don't have a problem with this team for the most part. I think Rotom Fan is funny, but I see the vision behind it. It is kind of not great, but, you know, I don't know how much better you're going to get for Electrics. And I love Roserade. I love the Weird Ear pick. Like, honestly, I really don't have much bad to say about this team. I maybe, looking at it now, would have put it even higher because I think it's really great.
Yep.
I'll go next. I think Boost's team is really good. I mean, everybody was pretty much in agreement that this team was like around the midway point. So, you know, we're not going to say anything too much or too bad about it, but I think the only gripe that I really have, 2 gripes. I don't love the pairing of Double Weather because the Sand mode's just so weak. It's Hippo and Lycanroc, and like they're fine. They'll probably do something. And the other main issue that I have, there's no bulky sweeper behind Aurora Veil. That worries me more than just about anything else with this team. You want to get... Obviously, you're not getting King Gambit because, you know, it's going to be gone. But I wish Boost would have been able to find, like, a Bulk Up, a Swords Dance, a Nasty Plot, something that's bulky enough, take hits, sweep teams. That's pretty much it.
And hey, Boost, if you're watching this right now and this Mon isn't taken, which it might not be, all I'm saying is there's potentially a Mega Heracross looking at you.
True. All right.
Actually, no, because you need to Mega the Frost. Never mind. Ignore what I said. That's cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out.
No, it's staying in. It's staying in. It's staying in. No, and I'll just go next to that. I don't have really much to add. Really solid comp, right? I think my biggest thing was, just you didn't. It came down to, again, some of these drafts are just insanely busted, and they got some really, really just disgusting picks and disgusting combos, right? And you have a very solid, what would be the expected draft, right? And not this war crime that the people above you did. So I think you worked best with what you did, right? And I think a part of it is just luck of the draw. And I think overall, you just, with what the hand you were given, you did the best you could with it. And I like the draft. Solid. Bernard.
I think this is Protect the President done right.
Yeah.
Mega Frostlass and Mega Greninja are interchangeable behind this support. The team is very bulky in itself, more so on the special side than the physical side. Arcanine helps shore that up a little bit, and so does a Powdon. Do not sleep on Glaceon. If there is a team that cannot deal with ice, Mega Frostlass next to Scarf Glaceon might run an entire team. Just with double blizzards, freeze, just damage. So, and Glaceon's defenses surprisingly are pretty damn good. Even though, and especially behind Snow, like its HP is low, but its defense is, like you put Veil, Snow, good luck.
It's Mini Articuno.
Mini Articuno.
I was gonna say I'd like to add real quick. It is Mini Articuno because it also gets a combination of Snow Cloak and Bright Powder. So good fucking luck.
Yeah.
So and then you have double Intimidate with Arcanine and Weird Deer. So there's a lot you can do with this team, and I don't have much experience with Rotom Fan. I like the Roserade pick too because there's a lot of support with that mon to a degree. Fan mode is a throwaway, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to have necessarily, especially with priority being as strong as it is right now. The one thing I will say could be a slight concern with this team, two things. They don't have a premier physical attacker. Like Arcanine is solid, Weird Deer is solid, but I mean, Lycanroc is good for what it is, but there's not a mon here that's like, oh, I'm gonna hit you for 130 attack damage, or their combined attack doesn't necessarily match up to the rest of the teams that are in the draft right now. And then being Rock Week in a Rock Slide world -3, that can be a little concerning, especially since a lot of your defensive prowess is redirect with Clefable. That could be slightly concerning, but I like the team. I had boosted at least 6, I believe. So I don't think there's anything wrong with this team. Again, Protect the President done right in my eyes.
Yeah, no, it was a really good team. All right, let's jump into the next one. And we are jumping into the A tier. All right, and let's start out with Olive. You know
and
what?
I'm going to start this off because I had Olive second on my list.
Really?
I really love this draft.
That's crazy. Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
yes. I think this draft is so good. I am enamored with this draft. I looked it over, and I don't know about Glare and Slowbro, Mega Bonus. I don't really care what you even do with that. I think this fast mode is so incredible. I also don't like Manectric, but who cares about Manectric? It's probably gone in a week anyways. I think Dragapult is awesome. I think Sneasler's awesome. I think Liepard's great support, especially for this team. Mega Scarm fits in so well. It's a great tailwinder on this team, and it can really do damage, especially next to a coaching Sneasler. I think Hisuian Arcanine's fantastic here. I think the double Intimidate's fantastic. Diggersby's good here. You know, it's priority damage. It's going to be solid. I actually even like Mega Bonus a little bit, just to give you an edge in weather matchups. Maybe give you an edge in trickery matchups. You can try to play into that. Hopefully you can do enough, because you also have the ability to Mega whatever on this team. You don't need to Mega a Skarmory if it comes. It can just be a Tailwind guy. That's an advantage in and of itself. The one thing I do wish is I wish they had a stronger second Mega, but, like, it's still great. And one of the big issues that I had with this team was the Bastiodon that was here for absolutely no reason. And it's gone. So I'm smitten with this team. I love it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll combo off that because I've been pretty back and forth with it, but after the Bastiodon pick, I'm pretty, or the Bastiodon being removed, I'm pretty on board with it. Really good team. Really good team. I think we brought up, I think early in we were worried about speed. But then Skarmory was picked, and I was like, that's pretty good. That's a good tailwind. And I mean, I think my biggest issue, again, everything Dylan said was correct, right? Really strong first half, great support, great damage. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better first 4 picks, honestly. You really couldn't. What I kind of get stopped is like the bottom 4, right? They're okay. I think there are better end boards from some of the higher teams for me. But other than that, I mean, again, it's at this point, you're trying to find the beauty marks in this team, and there's not a lot of flaws. There really isn't. It's just
I will tail off of this one. I really like this. I did have it right below Boost. This is the top of my B tier, mostly because I agree with Tristan that I don't love the back end at all. There's nothing wrong with those Pokemon, but everything from Florges down is like kind of whatever. But everything else is really strong, and I really like it. My biggest worry outside of that is that this team really doesn't have a great special attacker. Your best bet is Abomasnow, which is extremely slow, and then Polt, which normally is really good, but without Choice Specs in the mix and Life Orb in the mix, Polt's special attacking is a little questionable. His actual stats aren't that great, and he relies a lot on boosting items. And I say this as someone who's used Polt a lot. I do love the Pokemon, and it still can do work without those items, but, you know, it's not as strong. That being said, there's still a lot to like about this team, and there's very little not to like. I just don't think it's as strong as some of the upper teams. But I think if they can get a really nice special attacker in the mix somewhere, I think even just that alone will help a lot.
Yeah. And then, Burner, any closing thoughts about the team?
They hit it right on the dot with the not having special attackers. This team is very physical based. I had this team lower only because like the team itself, I like how it looks. The one thing I find difficult that's going to run difficult for this team, if there are teams that they cannot punch in the face and knock out, they are going to get hit hard every single time. Yeah. This team has a lot of offensive options, probably the best hyper offensive team they have. It does have support, but if this team gets counterpunched, there are not many switch-ins for this team. Like that I'm looking at. Like there might be some type advantages, but there's 2 Mons on the field every time. And I'm guaranteeing that despite the type chart that I'm looking at right now, that type chart has some flaws. Like they're going to switch in and they're going to be susceptible. Now, the speed will probably double down and be just fine because they have tailwind options, all that stuff. They could also be susceptible to Trick Room from what I see. I'm not sure if Mega Audino gets it or not.
It does.
It does? Okay, so that I don't know how often they're going to bring Mega Audino. That's my other concern about that, because bringing that means you take away from one of your fast Mons, and that becomes one of your bulk, I suppose. But I'm really worried about how fragile this team can be, especially in a format where there's a lot of bulky Mons right now. And there's just because they have Intimidates don't mean the other teams don't have Intimidates. And as Faye said, this team has a lot of physical attackers. So we'll see how it goes. I like the team. It's just I think it's run or gun. It's like it's one mode. It either wins or is not, or it loses. Like I know that sounds goofy, but it's like it wins or it doesn't.
And
so
I mean, my
it
thought
better
is,
win.
If that one trick is winning, they'll do just fine.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool. All right, let's hop into the next spot though. We hit Ivy. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna start with Ivy because this is completely different from what they expected to draft. I think most of us knew Ivy's plan. It was completely different, and instead they are now running Rain. And let me say, this is a solid Rain comp. Mega Meganium, I thought again in main format it's a little bit iffy because Sneasler's running around, but there's only one Sneasler. So Mega Meganium is doing a lot better right now. Very strong, very defensive, constantly having sun properties up, even in rain. It's great on rain comps, fantastic mon. And that's, of course, along with Pelipper, which is, in my opinion, the better rain setter. That's my opinion. Mega Scizor, which is great in rain. Klefki sets screens and stuff. Weavile, great support. Also a nuke in Froligator. This is just looking like a solid comp. And I mean, hey, we all joke about Rain, but Rain is easy and good, and that's why it has results. As simple as that.
I'm going to tail off from here. I had this 6th, and looking at it now again, I would put it even higher. I love this team, and I helped Ivy cobble this together a lot. Because, obviously their plan got thrown off so hard. But Mega Meganium, to me at least, is one of the top 5 mons in the entire draft. I think it's incredibly strong. And I mean, you can't deny the synergy of Mega Meganium on Rain. And there's a Mega Scizor here. And there's a Klefki for great support. Weavile is incredible. Mega for Alligator is a great secondary Mega as well, because Scizor's probably going to not need to Mega much of the time. Mudsdale is one of the last actually good grounds. Everlong Raichu is actually really solid. I forgot about it, and I think it's a great pick here. And the Trickle Core is kind of legit. It's not the greatest team, but it is very damn good.
It's a good
And
one.
I am really finding trouble finding any flaws with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it runs. All right, you two. Other two.
I'll
Dylan, you
pass
want
the
to take this
burner.
one?
I'll
Oh,
pass the burner before.
Burner.
okay.
Okay. I after looking through the draft and people what they drafted, I'm convinced Mega Meganium should have been a top 3 pick, if not top 1.
Yeah, that's a
Probably.
fair pick.
This Mon right now is looking crazy.
Yeah.
You put it on Rain. This team was well crafted. I don't know what Ivy's plan was, but this should have been the plan.
Not this.
Mega Meganium, Pelipper, regular Scissor, Mega Scissor, whatever. Klefki being able to do screens with these bulky mons, Weavile being a support if you need it. Steel might have been Mega for Alligator. Mega for Alligator and Rain with this amount of support might be kind of crazy.
It's gonna be kind of scary.
There's Scovillain with support. Alone Right, you can throw off Thunders and Rain. Rampardo Scarf could do some stuff. I mean, Poltergeist. This team has a lot of threats all around, and I don't see bulk being an issue either. Odean Tauros is there that gives you your fighting, and this guy's a little fire, but I don't think you're going to be seeing much of the fire as far outside of Weather Ball from Meganium and the Rain. But this team was very well crafted together, and the only thing I can see is if they lose the Weather War, maybe that could be a problem. But again, you have Klefki, so you're not going to lose the Weather War more than not. And I had this as number 2. This team,
That's a good one.
This team's looking scary. It's crazy that it's not number 1, but we'll get into number 1 later. This team is. We'll see how it gets piloted because I think it's really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. If I had to have a wish list, the only thing I would say is maybe if there was a better switching against poisons for Meganium. There's a lot of Mudsdale is good, Scissor's good. I guess you don't have to worry about fire as much because of the Rain. So that's like a bucket list if you had to find something else type thing. But other than that, I don't think there's much of a problem. Maybe Salazzle would have been cool.
Klefki's
I don't know.
pretty good
But
switching for it too, because it's steel.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm talking about fire though. If the Rain's not up, I was thinking something that could deal with fire and poison. So I was like maybe Salazzle if you can find a way to steal that from somewhere. But
fair.
Well,
Well, it's on my team.
I'll go into this now. Because at first I was gonna say some garbage that wouldn't have made sense looking at this team now. So I'm just gonna be straight up and say you guys are right. This team's better than where I had it. You have fully convinced me. The only thing I have that actually is gonna add to this is I wish they had a normal type. I don't like drafting without a normal type. That's all.
All right,
Oh, you
fair
can
enough.
steal a bunch of them because how about that Snorlax on Switch's team?
Yeah,
huh?
that may be the move.
How about Tauros?
How about that?
How about Tauros?
No, let's. We don't need Taurus. We go to the next one.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff,
put it
Ivy.
or Watchog. Put it in there
Good
that
stuff,
last
Ivy.
resort. Go ahead.
Let's talk about Izzy. And hey, I want to start this one off again. I'm sorry because I think I had Izzy at number 2. I am very high on this draft.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, no, I'm going to start on this really simple. Gambit Zardwai. I ran that comp in Champions. It was crazy, dude. It's insane. They work really well together. Zardwai is insane. Picking up 2 of this high value mon up back to back. It's fantastic. Great. And that is added on to Prim. Really good. Mega Venu, I always prefer normal Venu over it, but hey, Mega Venu you can still not Mega it, and you'll just have Chlorophyll Venu. Gallade okay, right? Rhyperier's really good. I like Rhyperior. Infernape's okay. The end part of it is whatever, but that first part of the draft board, I think, is insane. And I still think, yes, Zardwai has dropped off a little bit in actual format. Not everyone's running Aerodactyl or Garchomp.
I wouldn't
here.
say that either. He's actually been doing pretty well lately.
He's been doing it well again? Okay. I mean, I'm just saying Zardwai, People are sleeping on it. If people are bored of it, it doesn't matter. It wins games for a reason.
I'll go into it next. I know Burner has a big statement to make at the end of this, so I'll save it the last spot for him. We'll go me and then Faye. I'm gonna say that looking back on this, I may have put this a little lower, or I should have put this a little lower, but I still think the team's super strong. I have a really big issue with this team, though. I don't know what Mega Altaria and Primarina are supposed to do together, and
I do
that's
agree.
a concern for me.
I do.
Especially when you're a Sun team, I don't know what they're adding together, and I also don't know what Simipour's doing. So those three mons are kind of my congestion point of I don't know what these guys' roles are going to be, because two waters on a Sun team scares me. Mega Altaria and Prim scare me because they have very similar roles, and you don't really want Cloud9 here. So it's a little confusing there, but I think the team is so strong. I really do. I think there's so many good pieces. The last little concern, and then I'll pass to Faye, is I don't love the fact that there's Megazord Y and Mega Venu. I wish there's Megazord Y and Venu.
Yeah.
I think in retrospect, I think that would have been better. But
I
Faye,
agree.
you're up.
I don't know that I really have much to say, honestly. I kind of agree with all your points. I had this as the best team in the league. Looking a little more closely at it now, I'd probably put it I'd still put it like second or third, but I do think those issues are very present.
Innately, I don't have a problem with the team in terms of power level. The reason why I had this team so low on my list, and this is probably an inherent problem just because from how you guys know me with Draft League, having Zard Y and King Gambit are very good in the MA format. Do not think that's going to translate the same way in draft. I think they're going to be strong. Having 4-time weak Mons as your premier Mons means everybody's going to be prepared for them every single week. I'm glad they got the wide guard from Glaive. I think it gets wide guard.
Yeah.
That helps Zard Y, but I would be terrified of being my best two Mons being that easily countered every week. The rest of the roster is solid. Don't get me wrong. I just think there's a couple clashes as well in terms of like you said, Sun, and then you have Prim, Simipour, and what was it, Mega Altaria.
Yeah.
That can be a little concerning. Venusaur's role here is lofty. It can go one way or the other, but I think Venusaur would have rather had an item per se. This team's speed tier, it wants to veer more towards Trick Room more so, I think, because you got a lot of mons that are like 80 down as opposed to the top end where you got Frostlass 110, but how often is that coming? Helios at 109, that means you're going into Sun, and Furnace fake out, that'll probably come more. Simipour at 101. So those are your 4 fastest mons, and I guarantee you it's going to be rare that 3 of them come every week. So this team's definitely going to veer more towards the Trick Room side of things, and your only Trick Roomer that I see is Trevenant, which means Trevenant has to pick up one of those slots.
Glaive as well, technically.
Oh, excuse me, Glaive as well. So I apologize for that. So it can be Glaive, but your way, this team might. I guess it's not an identity crisis necessarily. I'm just a little worried on how this team is going to be week to week when 2 of your mainstays are going to be hard countered every week. And it's going to force the team to play more in the Trick Room, which once people focus in on that, it's going to be real tough to do everything you want to do with Trick Room. Because we've seen when people zone down on it, Trick Room's a lot easier to deal with as long as people prep for it.
So what I'll say to kind of tail on, right? Megazard Y has done well in our draft league. It did well. It won our draft league last time, right? And it was the focal point of that team too. So it was. I mean, they had a.
I will say it did not come like 4 or 5 weeks in a row because of how it was getting beat up for a while. The team did win, the Sun team, because I got proven wrong on that. I remember it specifically, but it did have problems. Zarwy had problems in the middle of the season, and it wasn't the reason they won in the late end.
Whimsicott helped that team a lot.
Whimsicott did help. I won't lie, but also I think in this lower powered format, because it is lower powered, I think Glaive Wide Guard will help alleviate a lot of those issues. And again, I think part of it was just certain plays made as well. I think Zard could have just ran over that season personally. That
I
mon
think
is
it's
just
also
good.
a lot of things get rock tombed as well. So a random rock tomb might just take it out. I mean, look,
That's true,
it's going to
but
be a
raw
good
shit
mon no
doesn't
matter how you
loot.
look at it.
Yeah,
But
and then
that's where I'm coming from.
you're looking at, again, and those two mons next to each other though are just so good too. But man, let me tell you, still a great team. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy about
And
it.
bulky Charizard will probably be coming to get
Probably.
away from some of these issues.
Oh yeah, probably. All right. We'll hop in. Faye will go last then in this next one.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? We're talking about our favorite, Tyler, TKL. You know
Tyler.
what? Who you want to start, Dylan? You want to take it?
I can very well start with TKL, and I'm trying to see if I was the lowest on this team, because I very well might have been.
I think my opinion definitely changed after a certain move.
Yeah, Faye and Burner were actually one spot lower than me, but I may have even dropped it even further after that move. But anyways, let me get into it.
I might have changed my opinion too after a certain move too, but
yeah, well, let's just hit the nail on the head. Megatron Mecco is not nearly as good as Toxic
Cut out,
for
bro.
this team. We're just gonna hit it right on the head.
You cut out. You might need to repeat that.
Oh, I was saying that Megatron Mecco was not nearly as good as Toxicroak for this team.
No.
And I think that's a big issue. Your fake out is now Pikachu or death. And look, I love Pikachu. I think Pikachu is very funny. I don't think he's even bad. I just think if that's your fake out, that we're running into some problems, especially because you lose your poison and you're fighting as well. And that was your only poison, and you're only fighting. And I think you could do a lot with Mega Floette and Aerodactyl. And I think Tyler, with his play, could win 8 weeks with this team very easily, just with this team alone. But I think when you get to the playoffs, and that's where Tyler struggled before, I think the teams are going to have counters for it. And I don't think this team, with Mega Chimecho, Audino, I don't think the Trick Room mode's strong enough to support Mega Golurk. So you're going to be running Mega Golurk probably in Tailwind more, and then as a way counter Trick Room. And I really think this team needs to go back and try to grab Toxicroak, though I think it has already been grabbed, by the way. So that will also not work. Go get Semi-Sage, Tyler.
yeah.
No. But, I lowered a lot on this team, even though it is strong, because I think Milotic, Rotom Heat, Aerodactyl, Mega Floette, Serena, I think that's great. I think the core of this team's great. I think the backgrounds are raw.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'll go next. Why not? Yeah. I mean, I agree with the majority of that. It looked better with Toxicroak there. I don't agree with the Mega Chimecho switch. I thought I had this team as my highest because just if you look at Izzy's, right? Izzy had some great, just strong mons in their first couple rounds. Tyler had some really strong mons, don't get me wrong. Mega Floette, Aerodactyl is great. But just look at the synergy. There's so much synergy there. You can immediately tell. I saw Serena, and I immediately thought, bro, stopping Aerodactyl is going to be a pain. Stopping Aerodactyl from doing anything is going to be a pain because now you can't even prio break Focus Sash, right? You're going to have to deal with a Focus Sash Aerodactyl without priority, right? So he's guaranteed going to get up Tailwind, or he's guaranteed going to hit you with a Rock Slide. Very scary. But I agree. I think we are kind of sleeping on the Hisuian Samurott grab in round 12 was really, really good. Good mod, right? Really good. It isn't out of place here either. It's not like it was like it's okay. It's a pretty good pick here. And getting it round 12 when it was originally, round 8, I think is going to be really strong. And we talked about earlier, spikes are going to be a lot stronger with switching, going to be more important with terrestrialization being gone too. But I agree. Why is Mega Chimecho here? Why is Mega Chimecho here, buddy? Well, what are we doing? Well, who are you trying to prove to? Well, who are you trying to impress? The Mega Chimecho believers? There's none of them. You're the only one.
No, I'm right here.
Bert, I'll let you go. That's all I had to say about this team.
All right. Inside information. I was talking to TKL during the draft about not towards the back end. And I was saying during the draft, I was like, I don't know how Hisuian Samurai has not been drafted yet. And that's how TKL ended up picking that, because I think Samurai is a very good counter to a lot of mons that are going to be problematic in the draft league.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of his typing. Seeing TKL's draft as he was going through them, Mega Floette, oh man, Aerodactyl, damn, Milotic, oh my god, Serena, what is going on? Rotom Heat, jeez, Mega Golurk, oh my, and then we started hitting Tyler's greatest hits. That's where I'm like, okay.
There's nothing wrong with vanilla. Vanilla's
I was
fine.
like, okay, we've gone to Tyler's usual every season of let me just start going off on the way. Vanillix, okay, fine, whatever. Espathra, interesting pick, not a bad mon at all. Pikachu, okay. And then what was it before Mega Chimecho? It was Toxicroak. Toxicroak was good. That's when I started talking to him. I was like, okay, Toxicroak, good. Samurai, good. Audino to get him a trick rumor that's not weak to that's not a psychic trick rumor. Okay. But then he was like, I really want Mega Chimecho. Got rid of Toxicroak. So TKL's team falls to the same thing they do every season. They have a good set of 6 Mons that they are going to bring almost every week. There was only one season where TKL had a team where it didn't look the strongest, but they could bring anything because how their team was arranged. This is going back to TKL before, where the top half of the team is your format team, and they bring it every week and they win because TKL's a good player. But then we get to the bottom half, and to be fair, there's the bottom half Samurai. I'll give you a Espathra. Vanillix, strong in, but we're back to Tyler's greatest hits. It's like we're seeing a rerun every season with this. As far as the team itself goes, I will say it built around Mega Floet. That thing's going to hit like a goddamn truck, so that's good. They're versatile. They are deceptively bulky to a degree. I do think the squad's defense and speed are dependent on Pokemon moves as opposed to their natural at times. Like Aerodactyl, you're going to need to Tailwind at times because their team speed is kind of not the greatest overall. You got 103, 105, 102, and then the rest hit 9. Your Pikachu's your 4th, which you have to bring as your fake out, so live or die by that. And then the defense is, ironically, like you have Milotic. The others are fairly bulky, but you're going to want that Aurora Veil if you're really going to try to set up. So I was high on it at first, and then I saw the rest of the draft, and I put him still high. I think I have him at like 5. But that Chimecho really, that Toxicroak was a big part of that. And I'm just like, what you doing, Tyler? Why are we going back to your greatest hits?
All right.
Gotta play him.
How we feeling?
To pivot off that, I gotta say, I literally don't have anything to say because literally everything I wanted to say is what Burner said. Like, I also have this team at 5th in the league. I think it's really strong. I don't know why Chimecho's here. And the back end in general is funny more than anything, more than useful. But I mean, again, Tyler's a strong player, and it's still very strong at its core, so I have faith it'll do well, and I would still agree with my own placing and Burner's placing that it is top 5 in the league. It's very good.
Yeah, no, it's a good team. It's a good team. Just Tyler, get rid of Mega Chimecho. We ain't dealing with that. Get rid of it. Throw it out.
Trade it for Toxicroak. Trade it for Toxicroak.
All right, let's hop in. So we're hitting number 2, which is our highest ranked new player, Critical.
Yes.
Cue Elden Ring music.
Cue the Elden Ring. Me first,
You know
me first, me first.
Okay,
me
go
first.
for it. Go for it.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you about this team. Critical, not Moist Critical. What's
Critical glazing is what we should call what you're about to do.
Critical
Rants.
glazing.
Critical Rants is this guy's name, and he did
Sure.
Critical
Okay. I gotta make this quick. All right, let's get started. Whimsicott won 3 or 4 championships. MVP Mon of all time, always. Mega Kangaskhan, solid. Arch, underrated. Politoed, great. Mega Predominable, Trick Room Mode, great. Eruption, wonderful. Water Spout, wonderful. Armorage, why are you here? Galarian Slowking, wonderful. Golurk, cool. Umbreon, you shouldn't exist. Hawlucha, get a one-hit KO Mon and train that thing.
It's not Mega Hawlucha. It's not Mega Hawlucha.
Oh, it's only Mega Hawlucha? Oh, because you can wait.
Yeah.
Oh, because the no guard. Okay, whatever. Point is, go get Mega Hawlucha. It's in free agency right now. Go get it. Sure, do whatever. Point being, this team does so much, I don't understand how this was even allowed to happen. You have Sun Mode, you have Rain Mode, you have Priority, you have Bulk, you have Trick Room, you have Tailwind, you have Eruption damage. I don't even know why Armorage is here. Go get Psychic Terrain. I don't know. This team does way too much. And then on top of that, you have Umbreon, Moonlights, and Sidon. Oh, does the Umbreon get toxic again? Does it?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
it
Oh
does.
my god. Oh.
Yes, it does. It's
No, what?
disgusting.
Who allowed this to happen? Cue the Elden Ring music. Please, Critical. Please make this like whoever you play, torture them so we can ban this illegality in future seasons. I don't
Yeah.
understand how this was. And then we're still sleeping on Mega Kangaskhan. And Arch, where are these mons? What?
And Mega Kangaskhan, here's
Mega
something that
Predominable!
I noted during the draft, Mega Kanga could beat up Arch, and that's probably 5 hits, I
Yeah.
think, on Kanga.
No,
so.
yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
think about that. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
max stamina. So,
I mean, we're lucky body press doesn't exist. I guess that's the only benefit.
Silver lining.
Oh
So-
my gosh, this team. And then don't even Cotton Guard Whimsicott could be a thing. The stall.
I'm gonna stop his glazing because I think someone's about to bust right
It's
now.
reached
so-
critical level.
It's reached
Yeah.
critical levels. So I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna talk about what me and Dylan talked about. We saw the beginning of it and we're like, this looks good. Like there could be good, but like it needs a range center, and we don't know if Politoed's gonna get around to this guy. And one round pass, we're like, lucky shot. And it kept going. And we're like, there's no way. And then this motherfucker got Politoed too. And we're like, what are they doing? What are y'all doing? And again, I mean, I 100% agree. Critical seems like he likes to draft how I like to draft, which is just have so many mons for different modes, so you can counter everything. And I think adaptability is everything in draft. I'm Mr. Adaptability. I like my mons to be adaptable, right? And I think Rance is with me there, and I think Whimsicott, Kanga, Arch, Poly is just an amazing core with a bunch of really good back row too. Honestly, it's fantastic, and I think Umbreon is a very underrated pick. It's really, really good, man. And of course, Galarian Slowking, the man, the myth, the legend. We gotta love him. So that's all I gotta say. Really, really, one of the best. One of the best.
I'll piggyback off you because I think we had critical ranked about the same. I think 5th we both had.
Something around that, yeah.
So yeah. Look, I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer here for the sake of it, even though I like this team a lot. I just think that the rain mode, while it's good and it's probably gonna do work, I think there's gonna be weeks where it's gonna have a confusing identity, and it may be harder to play because Whimsicott is your primary support, and Politoed's also a support, and I don't know how many times you're gonna overlap them. Probably an okay amount, but I think you're going to have a problem making teams of 6 consistently for this, especially that have good synergy with each other. It's a great team. Also, Armor should not be here.
No.
I'll kick it to
Armor
Faye.
was weird. Armor was weird.
I have pretty much the same feelings as Burner. I had this ranked 2nd. I think this team is amazing. I think the fact that it has so many modes is awesome. I do think the rain mode might be a little more difficult to play, but I don't think that erases the threat of it at all. I mean, there's stuff in the rain mode that like you may not even expect. Teams might not be ready for or expect. Like even just the fact that Mega Crab is neutral to fire could be really hard to deal with for some teams. But I mean, I don't really have much else to say. Why is Armorook here? It's a really good team outside of that. Like I think this is the best team in the league without Armorook on it.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
You can go mug Nue for something to trade.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hop into the top one. This is so rigged, dude. Dude, who asked for this fucker here, dude?
Hold on,
guy.
Griffin. You can just hold. Let me put the.
No, dude. I don't want to sit here and compliment you.
Yeah, this might have been a little rigged. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you what everybody ranked this one.
I
so
had
we
it
have
at third.
number 1 for Dozen that gave Dozen
Of
a
course.
1 ranking.
So don't think it doesn't-
3 from Wreck and Burner and 4 from Faye. So yeah, it ranks pretty darn
This
high.
seems like
I'm gonna-
hold up. This
Oh,
seems like it's a little
you
bit
got
rigged.
1 from 1, 3, 3, 4. What the?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
Because I
I
think me and Faye ranked Faye ranked
It was
Rance as
me, yeah.
Spy. Yeah.
It was me.
You
I'm
guys
gonna go
ruined it.
first. I would like to go first.
Okay, go for it.
Me, I want to go first because I want to speak on the journey that Dylan went through when we were doing so many prep games, and like he was so confused. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to take. Eventually, he settled on Mega Gengar, and even then, we were kind of in growing pains. Really hard to find something that worked really well, and eventually, I suggested to him because I know it's one of his favorites, his absolute favorites. and I thought it would be a good fit looking at it. I'm like, Dylan, try out Mega Medicham. And the rest was kind of just history.
Yeah.
He did for a brief second doubt it, and then I reminded him, hey, Mega Medicham is kind of fucking broken. Just use the fucking team that I gave you, dude. And well, then he got some more ridiculous shit on top of it too. Like just fucking Oranguru Mega Camera up is like I don't even know what to say. I think this is the best team in the league, straight up. I put it at fourth, but I think I changed my mind. It's the best team in the league.
Let me take over here. Yeah, Mega Gengar is going to be really good. I thought I've been praising that Mon for a long time. I still think it's going to do well. Rotom Wash is very, very good. Corviknight. You got really lucky with Corviknight. That's a good grab. I agree with that. Shut the fuck up. This is the worst moment of my life. I hate this. Mega Medicham, we did talk about. You probably could have pushed that back because no one was grabbing the Fighting Psychics. I think that was the real weak point. But then Oranguru fell to you. Meowscarada.
I don't think I would have done anything differently. Just
No.
even if I pushed it back.
This was you guys threw like not anyone. Well, not anyone here, but y'all who are watching this threw horribly. You gave this man Meowscarada, Oranguru, Floette Eternal, and then Mega Camerot.
Hey, Corby.
And Corviknight. I mean, this is
you can blame Faye for the Oranguru. Blame Faye for that one.
I mean, like, come on, guys. Come on. Like, this is
in my
just
defense,
disgusting.
I have never really liked using Oranguru.
Well, you know what? I almost said something mean. I'm not gonna. I held my tongue. But then Goodra's still really good, by the way, too. We're not gonna not give Goodra anything. I mean, good defensive Mon, pure dragon, but like, who cares?
Well, I think that's the craziest thing almost is that we're ignoring the Simisear. Goodra's easily the worst Mon on this draft.
Aurorus.
And Goodra's very good.
Aurorus.
No.
I'm not high on Aurorus.
I think Aurorus is better than Goodra. I'm serious.
Wow. Okay. Regardless, I mean, this is such a strong team, and it's ranked first. Fine. It's out of principle. I hate this guy. I need me in editing. Remind me. Zoom in on this guy. Look at his face, dude. I hate this guy. So rigged. But he made a good team. He made a good draft. First time for everything though. So you know what?
True.
All right, Burner. Closing remarks.
All right. I really like this team, and I think I would have ranked it higher if I had understood Floette Eternal's actual stats.
Yeah.
Because I did, when I first thought of it, I said, well, this thing ain't that good. And then I saw the stats, I was like, oh, never mind. This thing is a busted thing.
It's good.
I thought it was the Mega that had those stats. No, it's the normal one.
Pretty good ones.
The Mega's good too, but the base form is nothing to scoff at.
Like the fact that has the ability, or the Pokemon with the only ability to lock in things from the get-go, from like if you have a bad start, that could automatically just end games, and that's huge with Mega Gengar. And I think the toughest part we talked about with Mega Gengar was building around it. I think this team was well built around it. Rotom Wash Patchy is a perfect. It can be your speed control if you need it. It can burn things. It's just a nice typing all around. Corviknight. I mean, good luck trying to kill Gengar for ground move because you got two ground immunities. Mega Medicham was definitely a sleeper pick. Excellent pickup. The ability to have it gave this team the much needed power outside of Gengar that it needed to hit things. Oranguru was the steal. I have no idea how no one that needed a Trick Room got it sooner. Being able to instruct and be able to do that with status moves like whatever you need to do, Calm Mind, Swords Dance, whatever. It's perfect. Meowscarada, another punch. Floette Eternal, again, didn't know what it was completely. Thing is crazy. One of the better fairy types you could have picked up. Team has a Trick Room mode that has Trick Room mode with Mega Camera up if you ever want to go that direction. Goodra, between that and Hisuian Goodra, Weather Stoppers. Like that's the number one thing you need in this entire format because you're seeing weather almost every single game, if not all games. You're going to have snow, sand, rain and sun more so for Goodra. But for the other ones, Hisuian Goodra would have covered that as well. And then Dozens greatest hits, Simisear, Aurorus, and Hisuian Digimon. But, who cares about your greatest hits with your last three picks? Knowing Dozen, he'll pull Houdini and somehow get format mons for these mons. Does it every single time he plays. I don't know how he does it, but either way, doesn't matter where I rank it. This team's good. Knowing the player doesn't going to compete for a championship like he does every single season. So good picks, good job.
Yeah, and I'll just speak on this real quick. I'll take off the glasses too because I look like an idiot. But no, I'll just say real quick. I'll defend my back half of the roster. Well, not back half, back three of the roster, and I'll say that Simisear, I just wanted a fast fire type because I have camera up, so I want to be able to bring a fire type outside of the TR mode. Aurorus is there for anti-weather. That was Goodra and Aurorus. Just throw anti-weather there.
Oh,
'Cause
snow warning. Forgot about that.
And Hisuian Decidueye's there as a Tailwind setter. If there's a week I don't bring core, plus it can be a TR sweeper. So that's kind of why I grabbed that. And yeah, I love my team. I don't know that I'm going to make any transactions. I know that sounds very wrong of me, and I'm lying right now. I'm lying
You are
to all
absolutely
your
lying.
faces.
You're
You are
absolutely
lying.
To each and every one of you as
This
we
team
speak.
is not going to look a semblance of itself by the time
It's
we get
not,
to
but let me rock with it. I'm very excited. Win or lose, this team's awesome, and I'm
Yeah.
excited for the season.
You
And
have
Luke,
an
I will
addiction.
destroy you, maybe. We'll see.
You have an
Scammer.
addiction. You and Faye have an addiction to always trading good things, and I don't know why.
Speaking of trading, you guys like trading cards and scams? Hey, why don't you scam this amazing TCG player who gives the best deals on the market? I'm talking about STARLIGHT Games, another partner with us. Fantastic price on cards, you name it, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, TCG, any card game you love. They have great prices. And just like Dylan scammed this league, you can scam them with their absolutely crazy low prices and have some amazing trading cards to show for it. So go check them out. We have a link probably in the description. So go buy some cards. Really go buy some cards. Support this amazing mom and pop shop. I would appreciate you, great.
Local business, by the way. Yeah.
Lo- local business.
Didn't you just say scam them though?
No,
No,
you
well,
scam
yeah, you're gonna
them.
scam them. They don't
Yeah, with
scam
the
you.
prices.
No,
They're
that's what
not
I'm saying.
scamming
You're
you.
saying scam
Disclaimer,
the local
they're not
mom
going to
and pop
scam you.
place. No, they're not. You're telling people scam
Well,
them.
they
Like,
just
aren't
give
the
such
nice
good
local
deals.
pop
That's why
They
it's
give
such a
good
scam.
deals,
You go
Berner.
rob them.
Keep
Don't
this
go
in the
rob them,
ad read.
actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep
Why
this-
are you trying to
Keep this in the ad read.
scam
Keep
them?
this in the ad read.
Yeah, okay, here's the disclaimer. Don't go scam them, but their prices are so low that they're practically scams. Also, don't go rob them. We just want to get this out.
We're never going to get partnered again, guys.
It's fine.
You're the one that.
You did.
All right, guys. So next segment is rapid fire roundtable. We all have two things that we're gonna say. We have MVP, unsung hero, and then we'll go into the final segment of this, which will be very
My
special. There will be a
favorite
very
section.
fun animation.
My
But let's do
favorite
MVP. We'll go
section.
left to right. We can do that. So we'll start with Professor Dynamite. MVP, Professor Dynamite. Who you got for the season?
Mega Meganium. That thing in format already was doing work. If you could get rid of his counters and draft, I think it's going to be a lot easier to prevent his counters. So I think Mega Meganium is going to really shine in this season. So we'll see where it goes.
Okay, Tristan.
I'm going to go with Garchomp. Again, one of the rare ground types in the format. Really good dual stab and not a lot of counters for it right now. I think it's going to really run over this format.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Patchy the Pirate Rotom Wash is gonna dominate the league. Hey, you're up.
I'm going to follow up with Burner here. I think it's going to be Mega Meganium. That mon is so broken.
Really good mom. Really good mom.
Okay, unsung hero, Professor Dynamite. Give it to us.
I'm going to go a little out the way here. I think Sableye is going to be very underrated, especially when in a format where you've got Tailwind Trick Room going up. Quash ignores all that, and I definitely think it's going to be able to do some massive support with his Will-O-Wisp and Thunder or whatever it wants to do in terms of causing problems for the opponent. I think it's going to be underprepared for it, and there's two of them running around the league, so good luck with that.
I'm going to go with Meowscarada. Already you're seeing this mon as being slept on. Again, Protean is really, really good. Plus, of course, Flower Trick, guaranteed crits. It's a scary mon, and people sleep on it because it hasn't performed in higher power formats, but this isn't a higher power format, so I think it's going to do well.
This was a layup for me. I'm going Noivern. I just think that speed tier with Tailwind and Dragon moves, there's not many dragons. There's not many good flyings with Hurricane Access that you really want to run with that speed tier. I think Noivern is going to really do well this season.
I'm gonna nominate my very own Quaquaval. I think it's one of the most underrated Pokemon in a lower power format like this, similar to Meowscarada. Although, unlike Meowscarada, it's never really had play before because there's just always been better fighting types. But I think in a format like this, it's going to do a lot of work, especially because of the typing and because of the utility it can provide with coaching and whatnot.
All right.
Okay, and that'll
that's
be
finishing
that.
up. And then, of course, we're going to end it off. This is going to be a normal format, guys, so get ready for this. So let me introduce you to our favorite format. Welcome to Rat of the Week.
God damn it, Switch!
All right, Rat of the Week. What is it? Well, let me tell y'all. You guys are great players and great drafters until you're not. And listen, while we love to appreciate the good, we love making fun of you for doing the bad. And this is our place to do it. Now, of course, it's all in good fun. Don't take this too seriously, right? Please don't try to find us, our IP locations, and tell us about how actually that play was 4-head, 5-head, and I'm just the dumb one. Just take it and prove us wrong next week. But we love to have a little fun here, and I think this is our way of doing so. So I hope you enjoyed the animation. And we're just going to go in a rotation here, telling everyone who we think the Rat of the Week is. Is that how we're doing this?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
All
it.
right. You're also with Faye. Faye, who did you not like today?
Well, there's a lot of people I don't like today, but that's not the same thing as my Rat of the Week, to be fair. Because my Rat of the Week is actually someone that I love in this draft league and that I appreciate his presence a lot. But for my Rat of the Week, I'm going to nominate Pierre because he absolutely shit the bed with his draft. I'm sorry. I know that you were drunk, but you know, I
Come
don't
sober
even know what
next
to say.
time.
Yeah.
And for my Rat of the Week, I'm gonna nominate Pierre for drafting Mega Chandler in round 3. My friend, there was 20,000 fire ghosts, and you picked one in round 3.
See, listen, I was going to say Pierre, but you know what? I feel like there's another person. Mr. Runner, I know you got years on us, but why are we grabbing Sinisha and Farigarath? I don't think that's a smart idea, big man. I'm going to be real with you. You got age on me, but I don't think you got that experience right now. You're my Rat of the Week, buddy. Oh, shoot.
All right. My favorite segment of the entire season. And the first official, see, they give suggestions for a Rat of the Week. I'm the one that picks the Rat of the Week because I am the Rat Slayer here. And the Rat of the Week for week 0 is none other than Johnson. You are the Rat of the Week. You slimy little rat. Not only did you make me work overtime trying to fix these goddamn logos, but then you get this grade A roster that looks perfect, and I know you're going to kill it within 2 to 3 weeks. Because that is how you do every single season. Win week 1. You know, if I traded this or gave this away, then your team turns completely different. Then we get to the next week. Well, you know, if I did this, then we get to the trade deadline. Your team looks completely different. And then you go, you know, if I kept my team the same, maybe I'd been in a better spot. But who's the person that always has to tell you stop doing this every single time? So you know what? Between the overworking and the overtime and to know what you're going to do in the future to screw your team over, and I'm going to help you prep and you're going to frustrate me, you are the first official Rat of the Week. Thank you.
And I will take that in stride, Burner. For the record, we acknowledge all labor laws as being followed. Thank you.
No, we don't.
Oh.
Tristan, take us home, pal.
All right. So extra long one this week. The next couple weeks are going to be shorter because we're not going to be focusing on every other draft. But we had a lot of people to focus on, of course, and there's going to be time steps as well. So if you want to look at a certain team, you're going to be able to do that. But thank you guys so much. If you watched all the way, congrats. I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't listen to us for, I'm probably going to bring this down to like 2 hours, hour 50. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So, hey, congrats to you. And guys, seriously, thank you so much for a very successful draft night. It was a lot of fun. Love talking with everybody. And of course, big good lucks from all of us for this new season. Hope your plays are good, your drafts are better, and your team building's even better than that. And you guys have a good rest of your day, and we will see you next week for the Week 1 review.